Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition all Hecata Chronicle, Berlin Bloodlines. This is our penultimate episode, episode 9, Make You Squirm. So let's meet our squirming vampires, starting with Avery.
Hello, everyone. It's me, your boy Avery. And this evening I will be playing unsere gnädige Herr, Edgar. Wait.
Az?
Hello, I'm Az, or as I was on the social media, because I think I'm funny. And today I will be playing the delicious, devious, delightful Diablerist, Adelaide Nagaraja.
Gotta add that extra one onto there now.
Triple D.
Ramos?
Hello everyone, I'm Gilbert Ramos, aka at RamostheNomad everywhere on the internet, and tonight I will be playing Dr. Tulio Giovanni.
And last but certainly not least, our special guest tonight, Zach. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Zachary Vaudo, YepItsZak on Twitter, SneakerNet on Blue Sky and Spotify, and I am returning as You Love Him, He Doesn't Love You, your favorite Nosferatu, Yancey.
Thank you. And now I'm just going to blur you out. Oh, say goodbye to Zach for the moment. As always, this is a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition actual play. We've gone over our safety and consent, but please check in with yourselves as your well-being is important to all of us who are playing. All the content warnings for this game will be in the description below. So if you all are ready, lass uns anfangen, and let us return to Berlin the night after the final death and diablerie of Adelaide's sire, the embrace of Kenneth Giovanni, formerly Dunsern, and the night before the execution of Osric Dunsern. Last night, Edgar told you all to meet him at the tarmac in the district of Schönfeld, where his private plane sits gassed and ready to take you all to Hamburg, where his mother Maureen, and technically the spirit of his father Gerard, his mother's ghoul Moira, and his wife Aelin are being detained by the Malkavian prince Midian. Adelaide, you awake in Steglitz, Zehlendorf, in the late Olivia's manor home. Bella is laying in bed with you, and you can tell she's having a difficult time. Not just because of what Alexander attempted to do to her last night, but her brother, who was quote-unquote saved by Aelin, actually escaped the family, died, and was embraced by Tullio long after death. Her mother met final death at the hands of her father, and her father is to meet final death tomorrow night. She is curled up next to you, her face stained with tears. Make me your nightly rouse check, please.
That is a success.
So you are at 1 hunger. You were at 1 hunger, I believe. Yeah.
I am at 1 hunger.
And either your dots in composure or dots in wits to heal your willpower. You can't use Panache on yourself, unfortunately.
I can't.
Is there anything that you would say to Bella upon awakening?
Adelaide would kind of reach her hand out to wipe the tears off Bella's face, kind of run her fingers through her hair. Do you want to talk about it?
Is it true that you aren't ever going to embrace me?
It's not what I wanted for you.
So you're just like my mother, just stringing me along for years on a promise that you're never going to fulfill.
Is it what you truly want?
It is what I have always wanted. Kenneth never wanted it, and now he has it against his will. And you haven't even fed me your blood. I still have Alexander's inside of me. Why, Mama?
Because I watched what it did to the rest of the family. I wanted you to be you. And I worried that the embrace would take you from yourself.
I don't want to be me. I haven't wanted to be me ever. I want some control over my own life. I want everything that my mother had, everything that she promised me and never gave me. Tell me it's not just a sick game that you're playing with me.
I'm not playing a game with you. You are not a game.
Don't you believe in me? Don't you believe that I could be good, be the best?
I do.
Then why have you waited so long? Why, when the offer was made, did you not do it?
I didn't want you to be a pawn in their game. And you understand that that's what you will be.
If I'm a pawn in your game, then I'm okay with it.
Adelaide is going to wrap her arms around Bella and kiss her on the forehead. And then she's going to bite into her own palm and offer it to Bella.
And as we've established many times before, Bella greedily sucks down your blood.
Rouse check.
Mm-hmm.
You hunger?
To hunger. Soon as she finishes, she hugs you tightly around the neck. Thank you.
Adelaide doesn't say anything. She just holds her tight.
Once everything is settled, and we have our domain set up, then we'll follow through with your wish.
I want to trust you, so I will.
I love you.
I love you. And don't have too much fun on the Reeperbahn without me. And don't let
How
Kenneth have
could
any
I?
fun at all.
It's not going to be a fun trip, Bella.
I guess I should get to know Tegan a little bit better. She's my sister,
She is.
which makes Lucius
family-
my brother.
It does. But family is who you make it.
Yeah.
I need to go.
And she's gonna kiss her on the forehead again and get up and get ready to head to the fancy ass airplane
Yeah. So
that she's never been on.
as you get ready, Tullio, you also awake here along with Kenneth. Your rouse check, please.
Success.
Success. That has you at what hunger? I believe it's 2.
With feeding, 2.
Mm-hmm. Now, Tullio, your action in embracing Kenneth has resulted in a loss of humanity for you. And the child you have created, a rare and amazing feat, I can't stress that enough, bringing him back from the literal dead, he has proven to be just as petulant as you remember him being the first time you met him, over a decade ago. Right now, he's standing out in this... I need to make him a rouse check because he's a vampire. Right now, he's standing out of the spacious gardens, smoking a cigarette. Failure. Looking a little uncomfortable as he's only one night dead, and he might not be used to forcing his dead lungs to take in the smoke and then expel it out. And you watch him try a few times and then just throw it on the ground and stamp it. If you'd like to talk to him.
It's something that you get used to.
Oh boy. Can't wait. So many things to get used to.
It's a rebirth. You have to learn to do even the simplest of tasks. It's good that you would keep the habit, though. It helps mimic breathing. It'll help serve you, especially in these nights.
So excited. Got out. What is that line from that movie? Drag me back in.
I don't really watch movies, Kenneth.
Why? You have so much time. Why the fuck wouldn't you watch a movie?
I choose to spend my on life in more, I suppose you would call them boring affairs.
I probably would, yeah. Do I have to give up movies? Is that like a requirement?
Not at all, but you need to learn to balance your time. We have plenty of it in the long run, but precious few hours. Something you have to get used to as well.
I'm sorry. Is there some great master plan that I'm supposed to be working on with you as your Igor?
This is a scope. Kenneth, how many hours do you think are in the night?
I don't know, my
It's
phone
easy
will
to think
tell
of it
me.
as immortal when you think half the day, but it's simply not so. You have 6 hours, maybe 8, depending on the seasons.
So why don't we all live up in that place where it's 30 days of darkness in Scandinavia? The hell do we live here? I guess because there's 30 days of light.
Partially that, but also partially because it's good to rest, first off. And secondly, one has to think of the masquerade.
Look, I understand that you're trying to be like my dad, but I know all this. This is the world that I grew up in. I just never wanted to be a part of it. And Edgar's girlfriend got me out, and whatever.
Your circumstances have changed. This is what you find yourself in now. And I'm not trying to be your dad. That's Edgar's job. I'm simply trying to keep you alive.
Yep, I'm real good at it.
Not from what I've seen.
I know, I was being sarcastic. Get used to that. That's sort of my whole thing. What is it that you want from me? Why did you make me? Just for Eddie?
There is great potential in you, Kenneth. I think that you are your own worst enemy. The fact that you scoff at the idea of that own statement is a mockery of what you could be. Despite the harsh words I've dealt you in the past, I believe you'll become something great. So yes, it was for Edgar. But I don't do this lightly.
I could have been something great. I had the chance to be something great. My mistake was listening to Eddie and staying in Scotland where people know where I was. I should have gone to Scotland and then fucked off to the middle of nowhere.
You will have a lifetime to reflect and to learn. The past is the past. You have to let that go.
That is what every troubled soul wants, Dad. A lifetime to reflect on it.
Come. And I will bite my wrist and offer him my blood.
No.
No.
No. If that's a requirement, I will lay out right here for the sunrise. Try and bring me back from that.
You are under my accounting.
I'll be under your accounting.
Every action you take, every mistake that you make is mine. I cannot afford to have you not operating in my best interest right now.
A deal. I'll play nice. I'll be a good little boy. If I'm not, then I'll acquiesce. But not a moment before.
You see, Kenneth? You have a penchant for negotiation. Here's my stipulation. I'll agree. The moment that you act out, the moment you become a problem for me, or Edgar, or anyone in my coterie, I will stake you myself and leave you in torpor for months, feeding you my blood to ensure that you remain loyal, and then I will wake you, and you will be my Igor. Do you understand?
Yup. Dad.
We have an accord. I'm trusting you, Kenneth.
Yippee. Private plane, then? No one champagne to enjoy, though.
We'll make do. And I will offer him my a cigarette from my own case.
I'll take it. So, move over to Edgar. You are not in Steglitz-Eilendorf. You're in Charlottenburg. You spent your night in the penthouse alone, as you wanted to grab some things of Aylin's before you take off with your coterie. Now, I need to ask you a few things. One, how long did you stay awake before you decided to go to sleep?
I think Edgar probably made it till about 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Just to see how long until it would take you?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You notice as soon as you allowed it to take you, it took you until the sun went down. Or just 1 hour before it went down. But you stayed in a steady, dead sleep, so to speak. How did it feel sleeping here alone for the first time since you met Aylin 11 years ago?
Wrong.
Okay. And finally, what items of hers are you bringing?
I am bringing the bowl that she burns her offerings in.
Mm-hmm.
Any other accoutrement, a change of clothes.
Mm-hmm. She has a robe that she wears when she prays. When she goes to temple, anyway.
Bring that just in case. And then, as Adelaide bid him, getting behind the Jackson Pollock to get whatever was behind that.
I have no idea. What was behind the Jackson Pollock?
Oh, when Adelaide thought she was going to die and wrote a bunch of stuff up for the coterie.
Ah, okay. Well, that's something that you can send to Edgar in the Discord if you like.
Mm-hmm.
Edgar, while you were gathering these things, I have to tell you a couple of things that you found while you were looking for them. One, the green piece of porcelain from Carla's mask that you kept the night of the Bahari ceremony. It appears that Aylin transformed it into a very small, perfectly reconstructed replica of the mask that Carla wore, even though, of course, Aylin never saw it and wasn't at the Bahari ceremony. And she left it in the drawer of your various watches. Clearly something she wanted you to find when you both returned from your trip to Scotland. And the second thing is you found something she hid in the back of her closet, a wedding dress. But it's a traditional dress, not a traditional dress for a church wedding, which is what you were planning here in Germany. But it's instead laid over with black lace and a black veil, as if she was perhaps, pardon the pun, attempting to marry together light and dark in her gown.
Edgar will bring that as well.
You're going to bring the gown. Okay.
We'll leave it on the plane. But,
I should hope so. Mm-hmm.
And then, other than that, he's gonna get into the couch. And in the hidden slot in the base of the couch, he's going to leave Osric's shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
And he will take that piece of porcelain and he'll put it in his pocket.
Okay. So, all three of you and Kenneth convene at the tarmac, where the pilot is waiting. And he sees you all approach, and he heads up onto the plane, waiting for you to board. There is no attendant on this plane, so you're going to have to close it up yourself.
Great. Everyone have a good sleep.
As best I could.
Good. Did you happen to bring anything from Osric's quarters?
Sorry, I don't think I did.
Unless, is there something that you would have wanted them to bring?
No.
Okay.
It's just a question.
Anything? Unfortunately.
Armaments? If there's armaments you want to take. Tullio, did you bring your doctor's bag? That's an important question for me.
I would have brought the doctor's bag for my personal effects, I would have brought the doctor's bag and then these skulls that I have attached to my belt, just for we're going to Camry. It's gotta have everything that's in my repertoire.
Sure. Perfect.
All right. Adelaide, you are silent as always. Let's go.
It's a pleasure to see you, Edgar. Kenneth.
Kenneth puts out a cigarette and just does a...
I do need to talk with you when you have a moment.
We're all gonna have a bit of time in the cabin together, so I don't see any reason we can't speak plainly.
Was that a joke?
It's not my best one, but sure.
Adelaide just gets on the plane.
So does Kenneth. Kenneth's just like a really overt rolling of the eyes.
Tullio is beaming. That shit is hilarious.
And Edgar will shut up the plane as he gets in last and make sure all of the safety requirements are met.
And they are. And as soon as the plane takes off, Zach, would you like to tell us where you are on this plane?
I'm in the back seat of the plane, just already sitting there. Just I have a bag at my feet, shuffling cards, and the moment that the plane levels out, I just appear out of nowhere and go, "Where are we going?"
Oh, hello.
Kenneth
You know-
immediately goes, "What the fuck is that?"
You know, when we talked last time, I gave the impression of do what you gotta do. The subtext of that was do what you gotta do to fix this fucking problem. I haven't heard from you guys in, how long has it been? Months?
A month.
A month. That's still like 5 months too many. What the fuck?
We're dealing with it.
Dealing with it. Is that where we're going now?
Yes, we're going to get the Singer of Light that I told you about.
Wonderful. Where is the Singer of Light?
She's being held in the court of the Prince of Hamburg.
Fuck.
My sentiments exactly.
It took a hell of a time to come along. Great.
How have you been, Yancey?
Impatient. How about you?
The same.
I was looking for you a few nights ago. Couldn't find you though.
I was over at Alexanderplatz. I have a usual spot there that I do tricks.
I was in the Mitte. That makes a certain amount of sense.
All right. What are we dealing with?
Morian is a scholar of the Nodus principles, so nothing good.
Great.
We do have allies there, but it's not many.
Are you planning to solve this violently or non-violently?
I would prefer not to murder them all, but we'll see how things fall.
The goal is diplomacy.
Sounds good. That lets me know what foot to walk in on.
My mother is there. She is the child of Roger de Camden, which should give us a bit of weight.
Is she also being held there?
She is.
And you want to solve this non-violently?
As non-violently as I can solve it with a madman who's held captive my wife and my mother, yes.
You are an odd one.
They also have my godson's friend.
That's like 3 strikes for someone getting a shotgun to the face, and you want to walk in diplomatically. I get that it's the prince and all, but
Do you have the armament to take down the entire Kindred, Mr. Yancey?
see, that's a little bit more like it, but I'm intrigued with this whole diplomacy angle.
The main thing is I don't want Aelin put in any more danger than necessary. In order to solve your problem, which is all of our problems, we do need her.
And she is nearly ready.
Nearly ready.
Yes. Yancey, you can see that maybe Edgar's using Blush of Life and it's just really effective tonight, you know? But no, yeah, Edgar's breathing and looks fairly human. Looks more human than you've ever seen a vampire look.
Edgar will actually go over to the little refrigerator and pull out a flute of champagne and drink.
And Kenneth looks at you, Tullio, goes, that's bullshit.
Work hard and you'll get there one day as well.
Ugh.
She really did a number on you, didn't she?
She is everything. We are unfit to be in her presence, and yet... love makes demands all its own.
Speak for yourself, brother. I'm a fucking delight.
Fair enough. Can I offer you anything, Yancey? There's bagged blood in the back if anyone needs a drink.
I'm square for now. Just let me know what your fucking plan is going into there.
Adelaide, a reminder, you can no longer drink bag blood.
I know. It like the thought of it now is just absolutely revolting.
The plan
I'll
is...
grab one for myself and Kenneth.
Mm-hmm. Kenneth already took one.
The plan is to try our best to offer a madman an option. The promise holds until the year 2028, and he has meddled in my affairs, which is strictly against the promise.
So are you planning to try to swing the entire weight of your clan on him? Diplomatically speaking, of course.
I mean, we are the heads of 3 of the bloodlines of Berlin.
Are you now?
We are.
That's new information, Yancey.
Yes.
You guys have been busy.
We have the station to use the promise with authority, and my mother holds the bridge between the Camarilla and the Hecata. She is a child of Roger de Camden.
You mentioned, yeah.
We can only hope that that will be enough to sway Prince Midian, and if it is not, I am open to hearing ideas, because the ones I have aren't good.
Well, I've got one question, because the answer to that is going to probably adjust some things. If you're all 3 the heads of your bloodlines, what happened to his? And I point over to Tullio.
He is the head of his bloodline.
What happened to Lucius?
He did not attend the family dinner, so he is not recognized as a member of the Hecata of Berlin.
Huh. That's actually going to make things a hell of a lot easier long run.
If you would like to know what our plans are for Lucius, I think perhaps it would be best for you to answer, brother.
My plans are to stop him, kill him, and be done with him. Whether or not that aligns with the coteries is up for discussion.
I wish that I could confidently tell you that there was another way to dissuade him from his long-term goals.
He's ambitious and focused. I would be immensely surprised if there was.
Like I said, I wish I could tell you. That...
He'll chase some other artifact, I'm sure.
Yeah, that new kid is the question. If he doesn't have his main focus, what does he turn his focus to? Because that end goal desire doesn't exactly go away. He just doesn't have the tool he needs to do it anymore. And from what I have seen, there's a lot of ways that you kids can rip the veil.
And he'll scavenge the world for a new way to do it. He has to die.
And there are enough ley lines beneath Berlin that if he got powerful enough, he wouldn't need the artifact.
I gotta admit, apart from the whole kill the whole world thing, I kind of like the guy. But, well...
He has a certain charm.
I like the way he dances.
But that kind of puts a damper on the whole thing, so... If we can solve this one problem here, we can talk about solving the other problem there.
As a note, Edgar, if we can just find out where she's being kept, I can take her with me when I step through the shadows.
When I spoke to Marine through Tegan's bauble, they are wherever Midian is. He's keeping them close.
As I told you before, with your merit and Camarilla knowledge, Tullio, you know that his seat of power is in the Reeperbahn. I don't think you know exactly where it is.
Do you know where you're going when you get there?
I literally got told that we were going on a trip to go get Aelin. That is it.
We're going to the Reeperbahn.
That's all. That's the most you know?
It is.
Yes.
Any further illumination would be appreciated.
Yeah, I can narrow it down for you. Because Midian has a bit of a sense of humor. And so of all the places in the red light district of Hamburg that this guy picked to hold court, he picked the one place called church.
So we're going to church.
Kirche, I think you all would call it.
It's not a literal church, though, is it?
It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Oh, Christ. Does it still have the bell?
Do I look like I go to strip clubs?
Yeah. Fucking Christ. Alright.
Do you want me to handle the bell?
If you wouldn't mind.
I can probably handle the bell.
When they start ringing, my skin starts to bleed.
I'll try to handle the bell.
A month ago, you asked me what I knew about how the artifact worked, Yancey. I know a lot more now. It requires mortal sacrifice, and it requires the sacrifice of one's kindred lineage.
Define kindred lineage.
With the bringing of the Hecata together, Lucius would only need someone of Hecata blood.
Many someones. The Shadowbane removes the souls of kindred, and it either turns us into whites or destroys us.
All the more reason to get rid of the thing.
It can be purified. It can be made into something that is not what it was made for. Something good.
Tell me more.
The Singers of Light, they can purify it. When Cappadocius tried to use the Shadowbane the first time, the Singer of Light nearly succeeded in purifying it before he embraced her.
So the question is this a one-way purification? Or can it be sullied again?
With what the witch said, everything has balance. I would not be surprised. It is why another option would be to take it back to where it was made.
If we destroy it, whatever power is chambered within it will be released. If we purify it, we can hold it at bay as long as we maintain control of the relic. And let me be clear, as long as I maintain control of the relic.
Do you mean as long as you maintain control of it, or do you mean as long as she maintains control of it?
She and I are of one mind.
And destroying it isn't going to just solve our problem, from what you're telling me there.
I don't believe so. I am no master of the ceremonies of oblivion, but I knew a thing about sorcery. And to create something of this measure, you must... It's a vessel for an amount of power, even when it is dormant. If it is destroyed, whatever power is within it will be released. And if that power were to, say, find safe harbor in the heart of Lucius Giovanni, he wouldn't need the relic.
I just want this fucking thing gone.
Edgar, you have the highest wits and insight. Would you roll me that for me, please?
I sure can.
I was about to ask
You may as well.
Yancey. Okay, I'm gonna roll, but
Yancey,
You're at
are
200.
you
You're at 200.
alright? With everything that's been going on with the wraiths in the city, I can't imagine the dragon is doing well.
What'd you roll, Edgar? 7. Yep. You've known Yancey to be a pretty affable person. They seem to be genuinely concerned about this relic, maybe on a more deeper emotional level. What'd you roll, Adelaide?
God damn it, it's messy. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, okay, it's not.
No, Storyteller,
gray
it's
dice.
not.
No, these are the red ones. These are the gray ones. So that's 4, 5, 6. That's 7 successes.
Same thing.
Okay.
Alright, yeah, I was waiting for the roll before I answered.
Mm-hmm.
Despite what they think and despite what they have promised, Dragon doesn't deserve to have to deal with this shit. It costs too much.
I agree. Cappadocius brought this thing into being. It is the burden of his blood to carry.
I would like to wipe the thing off of the planet and not have to deal with it or worry about it ever again. But if the best option that we have is giving it over to your singer so that this thing cannot be an immediate threat, then that's the best option we have.
We would need to make sure that she's ready, otherwise it won't work.
Then we better
And
get
I don't
her.
know how to awaken her.
I imagine The first step is getting her as far the fuck away as possible from where she currently is.
You would think so. But her power dims when she's away from Berlin.
I didn't say Berlin. I meant the prince.
Yes, that is certainly the primary objective.
Maybe if we get her close enough to this thing, something will click.
It's possible. But her light changed recently. So I don't know.
What do you mean?
She was golden. And now her light is white. So I don't know if it's getting her closer or farther away.
Does this chick literally glow or something, or is this some sort of, thing I can't see? Talk.
It's something that you can see. I don't know if your clan has an ability.
No. No, I'm just making sure I know what the hell I'm getting into with this. This has been all theoretical for me.
The witch believes she is a mage, that she has not come into her power.
Well, that suddenly makes things make a lot more sense.
Have you met many of them?
I met a couple back in America, and from what I understand of them, they, can do pretty much whatever the fuck they want to, so long as they take the cost on. So if this singer of yours is a mage, it makes sense that she's the one that could fix the problem that we have.
But we need to make sure that she pulls it from without, not within. Otherwise, it's not going to work. It'll just kill her.
That part I'm gonna leave up to you all, because that's a little bit out of my scope.
So you have told me now that Yancey has run into mages. I need Yancey to make a wits and occult roll. I don't expect this roll to mean anything. I don't expect it to be high enough to mean anything. But if it is...
I'll go ahead and rouse the blood.
Sure.
As well, just
For some reason, your sheet has disappeared from my list of sheets. What blood potency are you at?
2.
Okay, thank you. That's the only thing I was looking for.
Yeah, so it's not a major difference, but still. 6 messy crit.
Okay. So, unfortunately, you're going to fall under your clan compulsion. And you're going to, you got to find out the answer. You got to find out from this trip to Hamburg, you got to find out this Aelin person is really the singer of light that they're all talking about and what she can really do. You got to know. You got to figure it out. You got to find out. Somehow, however you can do it. But 6 successes. So at some point in your travels across America, run into mages. I'll let you help me with this narration.
Sure.
How would Yancey have ever heard the term Nefandi?
I think he heard it conversationally, but never actually got any meaning as to what the hell it was. It was one of those things like, you know when people talk shop around you and they know what they're talking about, but they don't bother to explain it? It's kind of like that. I don't know what the fuck paradox is. I don't know what the fucking Nefandi is.
Mm-hmm. So words you would have picked up, you would have gotten the impression that the Nefandi are sort of like the boogeymen of the mages, right? That whenever they're talked about, they're real scary. And a lot of what they do is world ending is sort of their goal. It sort of itches in the back of your mind as you fall under your clan compulsion.
All right. Well, look, we got to figure out how to solve this problem. I'm going to leave that up to you in terms of how to make sure she's ready, but while I'm on the plane and I'm bought in. So we'll see this through and we'll figure out how we get from point A to point B.
And we have point C if point B fails.
You do. You do have other options besides Aelin. You have Ilsa has offered to throw it into the Tempest, which you dissuaded her of, but I'm sure she could be convinced of doing so. You have werewolves who have reached out to not you, but other members of your coterie who want to find the Shadowbane, who are concerned. They have been following packs of they were very vague in their description, according to Imogen and Maria. They were hunting other mutated wolves, is how they referred to them. Who were after the Shadowbane, and they want to get to it first to get it away from them, to destroy it, what have you. So you have lots of people who are looking for this, who want to destroy it. So you do have options if something horrible happens to Aelin, for example.
I prefer point B. It seems like the best option that we got, but if you have better options or other options on the back burner, good to know.
I mean, it does stand to note, and it's something I've been thinking about. If we can purify it and then destroy it, it would release good energy.
There is that.
I just don't want it to be used again.
No.
You and me both, kid.
I saw through Cappadocian's eyes when it was used. It can never be used again.
So, the plane touches down. And I said there's no steward, so you're going to have to open the... I can't think of the word because my brain is just thinking in German.
Hatch.
The hatch, thank you, because we're going to Hamburg. So, open the hatch yourself. The pilot sort of comes out from the cockpit and says, Mr. Wade, how long should I be waiting for you? Or are you spending the night here?
Wait until we return, but you should have everything ready on the plane in the next 4 hours to take off.
So, you all descend from the tarmac. There is a car that is waiting for you here, as you already got that arranged, because you could, you stayed up till 10:30, so you're like, well, I gotta do something. Calling around early morning, getting cars and stuff. So it's already waiting for you here. And already knows that you want to go to the Reeperbahn. Yancey has informed you that it's Kirche that you want to go to. So everyone, welcome to Hamburg. The name Hamburg comes from the first building on the site, a castle which Emperor Charlemagne ordered constructed in AD 808. And the town eventually, the city, became known as Hamburg, Burg meaning castle or fort. And it's much, much older than Berlin. As I said, established in 808. Berlin can only be dated to like the 12th century. This is a baby city here in Europe. So as you drive in this car, and they want to take you to the Reeperbahn, drops you off at the end of the Reeperbahn where you need to walk because you can't drive through here. It is a walk-only street. And of course, it's the red light district, right? Although you all currently live in Berlin, which is considered the nightlife capital of Europe, Berlin has a diverse range of options available for partygoers. Berlin is alternative and gritty and avant-garde, and many clubs are open all weekend, allowing people to party for 3 days straight. But here in Hamburg, everything seems to be more upscale. The bars and the clubs that you pass appear to be more high-end, and the energy just screams sophistication and cosmopolitan, and this is what's trendy, what's happening now. The street is alive with activity. A constant stream of people are moving in every direction, and neon lights flicker over their heads, advertising adult entertainment establishments as well as trendy cafes and restaurants. And as I've noted before, here in Germany, sex work is completely legal and regulated. They are regular workers with all the rights of a worker. They have their own union, all that stuff. And all of you feel this exciting part of the city, as you've all felt before, whether it's your typical feeding ground or not. So I need another rounds check from everyone, please. Adelaide gonna start getting hungry.
Everything's fine. Don't worry about my 3
2
blood
hunger for
potency.
Edgar. Yancey remains at 1. Adelaide, you're at 3 hunger. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, of course, you hear the voice of Ibrahim in your head saying, no longer can you eat from those bodies, daughter. You need to now feed from the humans. Go on, take one. Take one, make them scream.
Like you screamed.
What about you, Tullio?
I succeeded. I'm good.
Wonderful. Keep it in check. Adelaide, would you like to feed?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So it's hard for you. You have the painful bite, and this is not something you're used to. You're used to feeding on dead bodies, but you can't do that no more because you did the diablery. So I'd like to know how would you like to do this? And we're gonna have to change your predator type, which I forgot to do.
Yeah.
So how would you like to do this? What's the plan? I mean, Yancey could probably help with distraction, get attention of someone, but they're gonna scream.
Is there anyone nearby?
There are many
That's
someone's
kinda
nearby.
off to the side, like smoking or something. That's like
Yeah, there is
taking a
there
break.
is a Kalmarina waitress outside of one of the trendy cafes next to a strip club.
Does Panacea like make normal people just
Yeah, but that's not going to affect the
chill?
painful bite.
No, it's not.
Yancey, do you have your cards with you? You were playing with them on the plane.
He just kind of like tilts his head at her, and you can't see a facial expression, but you immediately understand the really look.
Of course I have my cards with me.
I'm sorry. I'm very hungry right now. I'm... And it's going to cause a scene.
Alright, I can earn a few bucks. And I'm gonna just walk out into the busiest section I can, and I'm gonna do a 30-minute show.
Okay.
On the spot.
So make me let's see. I want to do performance. Which attribute would you like? Which attribute do you think Yancey uses? Charisma, manipulation? What do you use with performance?
I usually use either dexterity or manipulation.
I'll let you pick.
I'll do dexterity so that it's really flashy looking and thus distracting.
Love it. So Tullio and Edgar, as you're looking for this Kiesha place walking down the street, you see Yancey stop to do a performance, and Adelaide seems to be sticking around them as well.
I got 5 successes.
Perfect. So Yancey attracts a very large crowd of people who are mostly drunk, who come over and want to watch the show, and they have money to spare. They have money, not euros, because those are coins. Well, they have euros, of course, but they have from Nota 5 euro bills and 10 euro bills and stuff out for the strip clubs. And they start laying it down. You have a top hat with you, I assume? Mm-hmm. They start laying it down for you. So Adelaide, who would you like to take? Or would you like to take the woman over by the cafe?
the woman over by the cafe that no one is any longer paying attention to. So,
Edgar or Tullio, I'll allow you to assist with this, keeping her quiet.
Edgar will attempt with the use of dominate. He'll just tell her quiet.
Okay. And requires no roll. She's immortal and she is quiet. She's staring at you.
and Adelaide's gonna come up behind her and bite into her shoulder in the back.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be really difficult for her to keep quiet. And I'm going to need to know how dominating you're going to actually be over her, because the painful bite is exactly that. It is an inherent thing that makes humans want to. They will allow their own limbs to be torn away from them just to get away from you. So if you make me a manipulation and dominate roll, I'll see if she actually tries to get away.
Adelaide's going to also put her hand over her mouth.
Strength and
May I
athletics.
be ready to provide a secondary distraction?
Yes, you
if at all
can.
possible?
Yes, you can. I was going to say, if you have your doctor's bag and you have some sedatives in there, just Adelaide would be super chilled out.
5 successes.
5 successes. So the secondary distraction is not needed. What'd you roll in strength and brawl? Or strength and athletics, rather?
All right. Would it be strength and brawl? Because I'm holding her.
With the dominate, I'll make it strength and athletics. Were there no dominate, I would make it strength and brawl. Because she's going to be moving around, but she's not going to be yelling.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, sweet. Cool.
Tullio or Edgar, are you hungry? Edgar's hungry.
1, 2,
You can
3,
snip a bite
4,
from
5.
her if you like. Tullio, you can also snip a bite. Oh, you got a bite on the plane, right?
Yeah, I'm just at one.
So you're good. So you can drink from her. Edgar, are you going to drink?
No.
Okay, just reminding you, you hit Hunger Frenzy at 4 now.
Why more?
Okay, cool. So,
And then
how much are you taking,
over.
Adelaide?
Just 2.
Does anyone here have Cloud Memory? I'm going to warn you that this is going to be very dangerous if you let her live.
So, I don't think we should.
I can drain her. I could drain her.
You could.
And
Edgar will
body.
Edgar will use
That will take a
mesmerize.
really long time.
I need the 5th dot in that lore sheet.
Yeah, you do. You need the one that makes you like snake-like.
Edgar will use mesmerize instead of compel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just say, you will leave here. You will go home and sleep, and you will report this to the proper authorities tomorrow.
All right, I'll allow it.
And
She will remember Adelaide's face and this interaction because you don't have Cloud Memory.
Edgar's
Can I
just
at
gonna-
least soothe her? Adelaide feels bad about the
You have to
painful
risk the
bite
blood to
every
do that.
time. I know.
Did you?
I did.
Okay.
I'm
Requires, she's
still
just immortal,
one.
so I'm not going to make you make a roll for it. You have to make your intelligence and aspects roll. You may soothe her, and she is soothed, but she's terrified on the inside.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's fine. She could be terrified on the inside.
Rouse
As long as
check
she just
Edgar
goes
for
home.
mesmerize.
Success.
Okay.
I'm gonna have
So-
to kill people now.
So she walks away.
Well, before that, Edgar will look to Tullio. Should we take her with us?
We can't afford any extra baggage, and I don't think it's smart to leave her behind.
It could be good for Kenneth to adjust with a blood doll.
If Kenneth is nearby, he's going to say, I don't want one. Thanks.
Then a ghoul, perhaps?
No, thanks.
We can't let her go. I'm not good enough at this to make her forget.
Well, why
And
don't you
I
ask?
also
Well, why
will
don't
not
you
kill
ask
her.
me? Who does have cloud? I was waiting for someone to say, "Hey, does Kenneth have cloud memory?" He should. He didn't take Oblivion, but he took Dominate. He does. And he looks at her and says, "Go home. This never happened." Is that good? Did I do it right?
You tell me.
Next more, Kenneth.
And Edgar will kind of put his hand on Kenneth's cheek. That is a skill that our family needs.
I don't want a ghoul. And I don't want a blood doll. And stop trying to help me adjust. Okay.
I'm just... You're right. I'm sorry.
Kenneth,
that-
stop being a shit.
Can do.
But what
Thank
you
you,
just...
You're
what
welcome.
you just did there was extremely valuable.
Well, yeah. None of you guys can do it. The fuck?
Alright.
So Yancey, you
let's-
finish your performance, and let's see how much money you made. Oh, you made $200.
I'm
you
gonna
co-
keep going until they come out
Yeah.
and show me.
So
what
you
they're
come
doing.
back and you see because you shit for years. So you come back and you see that Yancey has a huge crowd around him now. Some of the strippers have come out from on their break to come and watch him, and even they're giving him money. He's extremely good at what he does. And maybe this is why you can never find him, Edgar, is because you don't like being around a bunch of crowds of people. And that's usually where Yancey is. He's not just hanging out on street corners brooding like you.
Edgar makes a note before he'll make kind of just like a marked eye contact with Yancey and give a nod and start heading down the street towards Kyoka.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
The way you say it is going to kill me inside.
I'm sorry.
I know. You say it with the accent. It kills me.
I don't want any of these people following me, like trying to get more magic or whatnot. So I'm gonna roll vanish.
Oh sure, love it. It's just a rouse check, I think. Is it?
It's a rouse check. It says when vanishing in front of a mortal, I have to make a contested roll.
Damn.
It says wits obfuscate plus wits awareness.
Oh, that's wild. I sincerely thought that they got rid of that in the errata. That's
Actually, you know what? No. The win has the observer questioning whether I was ever there in the first place, and I actually don't want them doing that. I want it to look like like the end of my magic trick.
No, you can foggy needs to. Yeah, yeah. I knew they got rid of that.
I'll go ahead and just not do the roll, and I'll just vanish in front of them because it looks like the end of my magic show, and I just poof gone.
And a lot of people go, "Wow!" They start clapping.
Yeah, and I succeeded on the rouse check for unseen passage, so. I've just got all the money with me, walking up behind them as they walk.
Yancey has made quite an interesting... And Kenneth seems pretty surprised. And why couldn't we be like that? Why are we all like... Whatever.
Why don't you ask him if he'll teach you?
I don't think it really fits our vibe.
Moving unseen.
And that's why you don't do it. I say from behind him.
See, that's great.
Then learn it.
Oh, so I can do magic tricks for Akua? He's the only one who would appreciate it.
I would appreciate it.
Oh my god. Let's just go.
Kenneth, what did I say about being a shit?
I said I wouldn't be a shit to you.
There's that Dunsarn blood.
So, as you walk the streets, you spy Kiesha coming up on the right. So as you look at it, it is a church. Looks exactly like a church. And the transformation of a church into a strip club is a stark juxtaposition of the sacred and the profane. Kirsha's towering spire reaches towards the heavens like a beacon of faith, but its stone facade is adorned with flashy signage announcing its new identity as a place of revelry and desire. The entrance is flanked by bouncers in dark suits, ushering in a stream of patrons eager for entertainment and or salvation, and the sound of the thumping bass spills out into the street, mingling with the sudden peal of church bells. Edgar, how much damage do you think you're going to take from this as you hear the bells beginning to ring?
2 ag.
Okay, I'm letting you decide. I mentioned that there's bass. There's loud out here with a lot of people, but I'm letting you decide. You want to take 2 ag.
It's the first time.
Yeah. So please explain for us, even though Yancey said he would take care of the bells, I don't think Yancey understood exactly how this manifests in you. Please explain to us what happens as you, not even there yet, you're just in front of it. What happens?
Edgar's skin on his face, under both eyes, splits and tears all the way down to the bone, as if molten metal was poured down like tears down both sides of his face. His lip splits in the middle, and very sort of Proto-Vatican Christian iconography begins to carve its way through under his lip down to the base of his chin and under his beard, and you can see the blood just pooling and flowing as Edgar will stagger up against the side of the building.
Mm-hmm. Now, the way church bells work here in Germany, let me give you a lesson. It's the most annoying thing in the world. I live in between 3 churches. The church bells go off every hour. How often those bells ring depends on what hour of the day it is. So at midnight, they go off 24 times. At noon, they go off 12 times. We're at about 10 p.m. So it's going to go off 22 times. So that is what this is.
Jesus fucking Christ, man.
And you wanted to get married in a fucking church? Are you goddamn crazy?
Oh, are you going to be able to do this in an hour, or do I have to go stop bells from ringing?
I'll make do. And Edgar will try to heal.
Or would you like Adelaide to help you heal?
That works once a night, correct?
She can do it one time on you tonight.
I'll try these first two on my own because if
I
things
feel
get
compelled to remind you.
Hunger Frenzy at 4.
Yup.
Hunger Frenzy at 4. And you can only heal 1 egg.
And you have the voice of an antediluvian in your brain that you can't resist.
Yeah, okay. So I'll try and heal the 1 egg. I don't get hungrier.
Things have gone really well without you, Yancey. If you can't tell. They're doing really good.
I'll hold on to the 1 egg.
You can only heal 1 egg a night.
Yeah, so I'll hold on to 1. I've got rid of the other.
So you want to wait?
Oh, you just have a little bit of carving in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to wait
Tattoos.
for Adelaide to use Valerian possibly later?
Yeah.
Okay. So you wait for 22 bells to go off. And you know that in an hour it'll be 23. So.
We need to get somewhere where I can't hear them.
Well, my voice from behind them again is, well, we have to go inside there to do this. So I ask again, are we going to be able to do this in an hour, or do you need me to address this?
If you can take care of the bells and then meet us inside, I would appreciate that.
Let me see what I can do. Storyteller, are the bells visible from the street? Cool. I am still unseen. Here's a book-related question. It sounds like it does, but because a relentless grasp is to hold on to an object, does it work the same way as uncanny grip?
I would allow it. Because I think those powers are really weirdly defined.
They are. Can I climb up the side of this building while I'm still unseen, is the other question.
Yes. So as long as you're not going to do anything untoward, so make me a Dex Athletics roll.
Yeah, not going to do anything like that yet. Oh, yeah. I roll a 5 critical.
So, very easily, you can climb, you watch, well, no, you don't watch. Sense the Unseen if you wanted to, wits and, versus Wits and Obfuscate. But Yancey, you climb up the side of this building, and it's all black. And climb up to the bells. What would you like to do once you get to the bells?
How are the bell systems set up?
It's very old-fashioned. So it's set up on, I don't know bells enough to know. It's set up on like a wooden plank, the bells that ring, and it's an automatic timer.
Okay, I guess I'm wondering if I'm wondering if I'd be able to disassemble the timer easily, or if I have to just straight break the timer.
If you want to disable the timer, you can make me a Wits and Technology roll. If you want to break it, then you can make me a Strength and Technology roll.
I have an ability that basically just means I break it.
Perfect. And with that particular thing on your sheet, I'm not going to require any roll. You do that. You break it.
So I just break the whole thing. If the connection cords to the bells are available, I want to pop those at the same time.
Easily done.
And then it's reconnectable later.
Repairable. It's not like the Midian went through great length or time or money to put in something useful. This is pretty common all over Germany. It's just whatever.
It's probably not easy for me to peer inside from up here, is it?
No, there is no entryway to look down from in here.
Okay.
It is just a bell tower.
Well, that's fine. That's good enough for me. So I will go ahead and soaring leap back down.
If you soaring leap, you are gonna not be, unless you want to make a roll, you're not gonna land invisibly.
Can I
make a Dex stealth if you want to land invisibly.
Have you guys shown up close enough to where I could land behind them, you think?
Edgar was gonna go inside.
I'm waiting to make sure the bells get disconnected, because otherwise we're on a timer.
Same. I'd have a backup plan if they weren't.
Oh. How crowded is the area that we're in?
Very. The Reeperbahn is extremely popular.
Alright, I'll make my dex and stealth then.
Mm-hmm. I would need at least 4 successes.
I've got 7 dice, so let's see how that goes. 4.
Perfect. That's exactly the amount you need. And you land behind them. They still don't see you. They're still looking up at the bells, at where you indicated you were going to go.
Yeah, so I'll pop in behind them and just go, alright, that's good for tonight.
Thank you, Yancey.
Thank you, Mr.
And-
Yancey.
I'm gonna use Sense the Unseen and head inside. See if we see any
Sure.
lights or weirdness.
Sure. Everyone's going to activate Sense the Unseen. I know Tullio doesn't have it.
I don't have it either.
Nope.
Nope. I am going to behind them just swap masks as I head inside.
Sure. So as you all enter, the bouncers let you in. It's very much an open door thing here. They're just looking for people who, are not on the list, or people who are on a list of people they don't let in there anymore, or whatever. It's very open here. Upon entering, the air is heavy with the scent of alcohol and perfume, and everywhere you look, you're surrounded by mirrored walls. It's a little disconcerting. It's a little disorienting at first when you see it. The traces of the church's former identity still linger here. You see lofty ceilings with intricate stained glass windows depicting scenes from biblical lore, casting kaleidoscopic patterns of light onto the dance floor. The pews now have plush seating and are arranged around a central stage where dancers gyrate to music for the enjoyment of the crowd. The altar has been converted to a makeshift bar lined with expensive liquors. And there's also dimly lit alcoves offering more intimate spaces for private dances where once confession may have been heard by the congregation. As you enter, Edgar and Tullio, you see someone very, very familiar. You haven't seen them in 11 years, but you recognize them instantly. It's a very attractive woman with blonde hair, with a swimmer's body. And she sees you and she says, "Oh my, Herr Wait, Herr Giovanni. Willkommen in Hamburg." And it is Violette Fischer.
Danke für dieses Willkommen.
Bitteschön.
We're here to speak to Prince Midian.
I had a thought when I saw the facle with him that perhaps you still had her as a ghoul. That is very strange. But it's nice to know my intuition still works.
Does he know that she and you are acquainted?
He does. There's very little that Midian cannot determine, given enough time.
Are you the reason that he's kept her here?
No. Why? Why on earth would you ask such a question?
Curiosity for curiosity's sake.
Then she spots you, Yancey. Oh my god. Well, you're 11 years too late, Mr. Wade, to repay the debt of getting me a boon from Yancey.
No, but I did relieve you of an unnecessary child.
Yes, I heard about Sigmund. Stupid boy. As a fling.
Removes a certain amount of responsibility from you. Despite all of this, it is refreshing to see you again, Violette.
It's an interesting turn of phrase.
Are there cameras here as well?
No, I learned my lesson, Herr Wade.
I'm glad. You should write Kasim.
The Assamite? I think not.
You should watch your tongue.
Oh.
Please tell Midian we're here.
I prefer to let other people watch my tongue.
Can't watch when it's up their arse, can they?
You haven't changed in 11 years. It's very typical, Herr Wade. But Herr Giovanni seems to have tempered a bit with age. Not quite so bold. And I see you brought Kenneth as well. How interesting. Where it all began.
Go tell your master we're here, woman.
Why?
Are you not duty-bound to serve your prince?
Do you not hold the traditions dear to your heart?
But you are not part of his court. You are not part of his domain. Why are you here?
I told you we're here to speak with him.
Does he know that? I mean, I'm sure he does, but did you
You're going
make
to go
an
tell him.
appointment with him?
He's violated the terms of the promise.
There's no promise here in Hamburg.
The promise extends to the entirety of the Camarilla.
You have to tell him that.
I plan to if you would go tell him we're fucking here.
You watch your tone, boy. Or you'll see no one.
Please tell Midian we're here to speak with him.
You may have a seat. And wait. Enjoy the entertainment while you wait.
Indeed.
And she leaves. Do you sit down or do you follow her?
I will use Shadowcast and follow her as long as I can. With Shadowcast and Shadow Perspective.
Let's make me 2 rouse checks and a Resolve and Oblivion roll. It's really, really loud in here. Really terribly loud. You don't see anything with Sense the Unseen, however. Not from where you are right now.
Adelaide was just kind of standing back. She's never met Violet.
No, and Violet didn't bother to introduce herself.
Violet didn't bother to introduce herself, and
Or Violette.
So Adelaide's gonna just kind of look at that interaction, and I don't trust that bitch, so we're gonna follow her.
You are going to follow her. What about you, Yancey?
Especially with the way she said, enjoy the entertainment.
I just started walking behind her the moment that she walked away.
Visibly?
I have a reputation to keep, yeah.
All right.
Plus, it'll distract from the other 3 if they're going to hide. If I'm just brazenly walking behind her.
What about you, Edgar?
Edgar will not hide in this den of perversion and sin.
Oh, that 10 humanity is rough.
Yes, it is.
This would have been Edgar's favorite place like a month ago.
Literally 2 nights ago. This would have been awesome.
What did you roll, Tullio?
6 successes.
So, Yancey follows, Adelaide follows, Edgar also follows, and you use your shadow cast. I'm going to tell you what you hear in a minute as you follow her with your shadow.
Edgar's gonna sit with Tullio. He's not gonna follow her.
Okay. Tullio, I'm sorry, what were you going to say, honey?
As a note, I do get hungrier.
Okay, perfect. So you're at 3 hunger? That means you're at starving decay?
2.
2, okay. Good. Not a starving decay yet. Okay. Adelaide and Yancey, you follow. And she notices that you're following. And she turns around and she, again, still doesn't address you, Adelaide, but she does sort of block your way. And she looks at it, she goes, Herr Yancey, it is such an honor to meet you. You have such a reputation in Berlin.
I imagine I do.
So, once upon a time, I was promised a boon from you. But it was never delivered, which is quite unfortunate.
I don't know who on earth would be able to promise a boon from me on my behalf, but you do you.
Well, of course, you came with him, Mr. Wade.
We're gonna have a talk about that later.
I will say Edgar mentioned that.
Yeah,
on
you did.
Rock Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna have a talk about that later because this chick is still recalling that like
That's
it means
really-
something.
Yeah. Adelaide, do you try and get around her?
I'm still kind of looking around.
Mhm.
I find her rude
She is.
and not worth the time to try and converse with.
Wits and Auspex
So-
for you. Tullio, what you hear is you hear someone speaking. Someone speaking a little bit louder than the music and the regular conversation you hear. You hear someone say, "And you will know these last times by the time of thin-blooded, which will make vampires that cannot beget. Those among them will not have generation to hold, no traditions to keep, no hospitality to give. They will kill the dead and eat our kin. They are the dark seed of our undoing." That is what you hear.
Excellent.
7 successes. You see a light coming from an upper balcony. It's not a white light, it's a golden light. But you see something. You can't see if it's Aelin. You can't see who it is. But as you look up to where the light is coming from, you see where you are was once the nave or the chancel of the church, right? And up above would be the gallery where the organ would have been played, or stored, or however you want to put it. And Adelaide, you see 3 people seated looking out over the crowd. You see a woman in a black mask and white eyes. You see, it reminds you of Nicola Asher, right? Who has that same black mask. You see a young woman with dark hair, light eyes, and a smattering of freckles. And you also see a man half in shadow, one dark eye peeking out, and he seems to be speaking. His mouth is moving, is quite loud. You can't really tell what he's saying or if he's saying anything important, but his mouth is moving as if he's saying something with quite a lot of intensity.
She's going to stare up at them and see if there's a way up there.
Would you like to inform your coterie of this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have to walk back to inform them. And Tullio, you can also inform them. Violette turns, if you're going to keep following her, Yancey, and heads up to the balcony as well.
Yep, I am.
Okay.
Unless she physically stops me from moving, I'm just going to keep following her.
She's not. You have a reputation that she's
Yep.
not going to mess with.
Yep.
So Adelaide and
Would
Tullio, you may inform
Tullio-
Edgar. Oh, yeah.
Would Tulio know that it was the Book of Nod being read from?
Make me what's in a cult. I don't know if Olivia ever fucking... Lucius certainly didn't. He doesn't buy into the Gehenna nonsense, but... I don't know if Olivia ever delved
Did
into that.
Alexander ever mention?
Oh, make me what's in a cult.
Okay. See all the stuff that Papa was into.
That is 6 with a crit.
Yeah, absolutely. Olivia would have told you about the Nodus that exists in the Camarilla and would have given you cursory...
Yeah.
You would have recognized that as a passage from the secrets of the Book of Nod about the time of the Thin Blood. They believe that they're a portent of the end times.
I will inform
6.
Yep, same with you.
my coterie that they are reading from the Chronicle of Secrets, the prophecies of Gehenna.
He very much is a scholar. But he also has his church, so that makes me nervous.
Is it... Would it be foolish to question if this is... If you would be a sympathizer with Sahir, given their shared religion?
Sahira proselytizes to the Thin Bloods.
Adelaide, you also have information from Kasim of his opinion about it as well.
Where he's not... He doesn't really buy into the same view the way Sahira does. He's more concerned with the end rather than the fight of it.
Perhaps he has felt his end come to his doorstep.
Yancey, as you get up there to the balcony, You see the scene as I described for Adelaide. You see a woman in a black mask, another young woman with dark hair and freckles who's sitting next to her. You see Midian, who is indeed reading from a very old-looking book about thin-blooded. You also see a woman who you don't know sitting on a couch. You don't know, not that you know any of these people, with dark hair and tan skin, and she seems to be in a fetal position. She has her hands over her ears, and she is speaking in a language that you don't know. Behind them on the couch, behind the couch that they're all on, is a tiger that is just laying there.
More importantly, and I guess this is a question for you to ask the other three. Would the other three have noticed that the 6'7" guy in the mask is gone, and so is the person that was blocking their way up here? Because I just kept following her all the way up here.
That's up to them.
Okay. Figured I would just speak that into the world really quick before I step forward into this area.
Edgar
exactly
was
why I was doing
watching.
it.
Edgar was watching the whole thing play out from where he was seated.
Yeah, Adelaide is just going to inform the coterie of what she saw.
And that there's a golden light up there.
I have to be clear, golden, not white.
Yeah, golden.
And then Adelaide, as long as no one stops her, is going to go back to what she was doing, which was following Violette and Yancey.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else follow Violette and Yancey?
As far as Shadowcast will let me take.
So you're going to remain down here, but let your shadow listen? Or are you going to physically go?
Next to Edgar.
What about you, Edgar?
Edgar has manners. He's not going to go up there until he's invited.
Mm-hmm. Well, it doesn't take very long. You watch Violette walk over Yancey to Midian, who continues reading. She whispers in his ear, but he continues reading out loud. And he looks at her very sternly, still reading, and she nods her head. And then she starts heading over to you. It's your lucky day, Mr. Yancey, but I don't think anyone would refuse you. Midian has agreed to meet with you. He says it's too loud in here, though, and that we should all go to Xanasex. Or that you should all go to Xanasex.
Enlighten me as to where that is.
Xanasex is an entryway into the church, but here we have it blocked off for private meetings.
Great. I'll let him finish reading, then we can all go.
Surely. She doesn't move.
Neither does he. I'm just going to stand watching him read the entire time. Mm-hmm. Because I have an entire season established of me just being a creepy asshole standing in the corner watching people do stuff the whole time. Mm-hmm.
Eventually,
I'm not giving up on that now.
Eventually he does stand. The tiger stands. He has the book in one hand. And he picks this other woman, who you don't know, up by the crook of the elbow. She's looks distraught and in distress, but she's not. She's speaking again in a language you don't understand. You don't know what she's saying. And he sort of stands her up and has her by the crook of the elbow with the book in his other hand and starts walking. And Maureen and Moira follow him as well.
I'm gonna lean over the balcony and just go. I assume that they're watching, and I'm just gonna wave to the air, like, "Come on!" And I'm just gonna start following.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Once Adelaide had said everything to the coterie, she had headed back that way. Mm-hmm. So
Midian and his group, let's call him. Of course, Edgar, you see your mother. Midian and his group head into where the narthex is, a little side door that they slide open and head in there, but leave open for you to follow them.
Is Aelin with them?
Yes. She looks as I have described.
Can I understand what she's saying?
No.
Okay.
Edgar can, but he needs to get a little closer.
Yeah. As soon as Edgar sees Aelin, he pushes off and is moving quickly.
Before we take our break, as you all enter into the narthex, and they've already found another seat. There's a booth here. The two security guards who are outside are in here now. Violette is not in this room. Kenneth goes with you as well. Edgar, what you hear her saying is names of places over and over and over again. Babylon, Nineveh, Carthage, Rome, Athens, Anatolia, Alexandria, London, Constantinople. Babylon, Nineveh, Carthage, Rome, Athens, Anatolia, Alexandria, London, Constantinople. She just keeps repeating it. And as you all enter the room, that is where we're going to take a very short break. We're back. Right now, the coterie plus Yancey came along for the bride. We're in Hamburg, and we're inside Kirche, a church-turned-strip club that is the seat of power for the Prince of Hamburg, a Malkavian named Midian. And he seems to have Edgar's mother, Maureen, her ghoul, Moira, and his wife, Aelin, under his forcible guest status. And he also has a tiger with him as well. And as you all enter into the narthex to see him, as I said, Aelin is sort of in a fetal position with her hands over her head, and she's just repeating in Farsi names of places, ancient places or in general old places like Babylon and Nineveh and Constantinople. When Maureen sees you, Edgar, she immediately attempts to stand up, but then she decides not to, decides better of it, but she does immediately look at you. And the prince is no longer reading. All of you can clock that he's using Aelin's necklace as a bookmark and puts it in the book and closes it and puts it down on his lap. And the tiger is next to him and he's patting the tiger. And he says, hello, welcome to Hamburg.
Prince Midian, thank you for seeing us. Do you know who I am, Prince?
You're of the Clan of the Hidden.
That is true, but I meant more specifically, do you know who I am?
No.
My name is Yancey Hightower. I am a Nosferatu, and I am a representative of the one that calls themselves the Dragon. I would hope that you know them.
I do.
Wonderful. I am here with 3 heads of the Clan Hecata because they have something they wish to discuss with you. And what they wish to discuss with you concerns me as well, therefore, here I am.
I'm sorry about your dragon. Under the ground. Uncomfortable place to be.
That it is. That is why we are, in part, here to talk to you.
Surely hope those wolves don't come back.
Again, why we'd like to talk to you.
Then talk.
And I'll just pivot my head to the 3 of them.
We had several of our people on their way home, and you seem to have intercepted them, Prince.
It's very dangerous to be speaking of our affairs over the phone.
Is that what happened?
Yes.
Then you apprehended them for their safety.
For the safety of us all. Your sire lives within you. Is it uncomfortable?
Quite.
Not you.
Less comfortable in ways, but more comfortable than when he was in his own body.
Yes, I apprehended them. And they are my guests. Is that all that you came to ask me about?
We would like to bring them home, so they may fulfill their duties to our family.
This one is from Scotland. So is the maiden from Scotland. You are in Berlin. How is that home?
Surely you understand that home is where you call it.
I don't understand any such thing.
You make your home. Your home is not a place that is forced upon you. You are not stuck with a home. I myself am not local to Berlin, and yet I call my home with the dragon.
And I was not born in Berlin, but Berlin is my home. And these ones are family. And they belong in Berlin. With Hecata.
I'm waiting for a representative from the Scotland court to broker a deal to release this one.
When are they to arrive?
When they arrive.
Let me make this very clear, Prince. That is my mother, her ghoul, and my wife. And I am not leaving here until they return to Berlin with us.
This one is your wife?
She is.
She had no... She's mortal.
She is.
For the time being.
Love knows no bounds, Prince.
He pulls out the Book of Nod, whips out the necklace of Aelin's, holds it in his hand. And he says, "But if ever one of us is gifted with the love of a mortal, without command or awe, without compulsion, a love freely given, then that love will be as the gentle rain to even the lowliest of us. It will feed us as if we supped at our father's table. It will satisfy our deepest thirst. But hearken ye, my children, the children of Seth will always hate us again and again, for we are their predators and their masters. Be not a fool."
I'm failing to see the downside in that statement. Perhaps you could enlighten us.
You can't trust them.
The children of Set, yeah.
The children of Seth.
Sure, but we're not talking about the ministry, are we?
We are talking about the mortals. The children of Seth. Not Set.
Well, as stated, not mortal for long. Or at
But
least
she's
that was
mortal
the
now.
intention before.
No vitae in her veins?
Well, that's not entirely true, is it?
Yes, it is true.
Are you telling me that if you did not interfere, she'd be able to leave with us right now without any inclination to stay?
I am saying that this one had no kindred vitae in her veins. I tasted it.
We'll put a
Again.
hand on Edgar's shoulder.
Again, for the time being, Prince Midian.
With no kindred vitae in her veins, she was not claimed by anyone, marriage or not. She is mortal.
It is not for you to dictate, as we are not from your domain, Prince.
She was in my domain, and she's mortal, with no one to claim her. So I have claimed her.
You hold stock in vision and word, do you not, Midian?
Yes?
Miss Fisher, I told you about something that happened before it happened.
She's not in this room.
I gave spoken word and vision to Violette Fisher before she left Berlin of what would happen if she stayed. And I will extend to you that same gift.
It's so noisy in your mind. His voice, whispering. Ages past, very loud.
And you should not provoke him. And so I will extend to you that gift as well. I will tell you what will happen to you if you decide to keep them here. And let me be clear. This is no threat. I see things before they happen.
We have that in common.
And I see your death, Midian. If you keep them here, it will kill you.
Cards on the table, Prince Midian. Her duties back in Berlin are to prevent that for you, for us, for all of Kindred kind. We would like to prevent the end days. I'm sure that you can understand and respect such a thing.
I've already... He sort of rubs his hand on her hair. I have already given her the tools to help us, for she holds the last hope for the end of days. The last daughter of Eve. And you will know her by the mark of the moon on her.
As I said, cards on the table. There is a tool in Berlin that seeks to undo such a thing, and she is the key for keeping these end times at bay. We would be incredibly grateful. And you hear Yancey grunt under his breath. I and the dragon would be incredibly grateful for you to release her into these Hecata's custody to do what she is meant to do.
Everyone may make me a charisma and persuasion roll.
Okay.
Great. I'm gonna rouse the blood.
Yep.
Asking the Nosferatu to make a persuasion roll.
Adelaide
I love you too,
doesn't
Zach.
ask. Adelaide takes.
I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Okay, let's are just 3 dice. Okay.
Seven successes with a crit.
Mm-hmm.
Also
4
7
successes.
success.
Yeah,
Also
that's
7 with the crit.
4. Mm-hmm.
I'm scared to
You
roll.
wanted to roll low here.
I got 3.
He looks to Edgar, and he looks to Tullio. You will offer me something in equal exchange for the last hope. He keeps rubbing her hair while she keeps repeating the names of these cities. It's a heavy burden on her. She hasn't taken well to the mark.
Did you mark her?
I am the clan of the moon. Of course I did.
She was not yours to mark.
She was a mortal in my domain.
And you are a man in my presence.
Prince Midian, I'm attempting to stay not just the end of days, but war between cities here. Please.
The Camarilla and the Hecata have made a bargain that is still in effect, and it is for all Hecata and all of your tower.
I have no Hecata in my domain that I'm aware of. They were wiped out during the purge.
That doesn't matter.
If you are willing to stay here in Hamburg, as that is your exchange, then yes. But I hold no one to the promise, as I have no one in my domain to hold it to. You will offer me something in equal exchange.
Here's my offer. The promise is still in effect whether you like it or not. Unless you'd like to speak to your Justicars.
You speak with an arrogance that you have not earned.
It's your opinion and I don't give a fuck about your opinion. You'll release what's ours.
Prince Midian. The problems that we are
You may make
experiencing
me-
will spread. Okay.
You may make me a resolve and intelligence roll.
May I blood search?
Yes. Alright, he's gonna start getting weird now.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
no.
Since he was doing so good before.
He's gonna start getting weird.
He was so normal 3 minutes ago.
Don't talk about Edgar like that.
It's 10 with a messy.
13 with a messy. So you're gonna fall under your clan compulsion, Tullio, until you see something die or see something come to life. You're gonna be at a 2 dice penalty. And as you are quite rude to a millennia-old kindred, you feel this strange force come over you. And suddenly you, Tullio, get locked somewhere very small, a compartment inside of yourself, inside of your mind. And who is controlling your body and your personage is Midian. He hasn't moved, however. He's still sitting there, looks completely calm and normal. And I'll either allow you to roleplay as Midian, as someone who wants something in equal exchange, or I will roleplay him inside of your body.
I have no idea what Midian would want, so I'm going to relinquish it to you.
You all watch Tullio turn around and face all three of you and speak in Tullio's regular voice, and Midian just staring and saying, "You will offer something in equal exchange, or this one will remain here."
I've told you what I will offer you.
What
I am
problems
off.
do you? Oh, go ahead. Yancey.
No, I'd rather you handle it if we can handle it that way.
You say you have no Hecata in your city, but we are the clan of death, and where we reside, there is always death. And right now, the wraiths, they're falling to their shadows, and I do not want to see you in the shadows more than you already are.
You deal with death.
I am death.
Nearby there is a cemetery. There is a problem. The dead seem to be rising. I take it as another sign of the end times. Are you telling me you could stop it?
In exchange for our family, yes.
That is
Which
acceptable.
includes Maureen and Moira and my cousin's soon-to-be wife.
I shall certainly point the representative of Roger de Camden in your direction when he arrives.
Excellent. Because we are family. It's best to keep those matters in the family.
He lets you go, Tullio. And you're no longer locked inside this small part of your mind. This was very uncomfortable and strange.
Prince Midian, am I to understand that if these three Hecata and myself solve the problem that you are currently dealing with, you will release these individuals into our custody?
And we will leave in good faith, unharmed.
And all of their personal affects.
And he holds up the necklace. This doesn't belong to her. You do know
It
that, right?
belongs to me.
No, it doesn't.
It was given to me by Prince Kasim of Berlin, and therefore it is mine.
It doesn't belong to him either.
Who does it belong to, Prince?
Her name is Bichette.
And it is in the care of Prince Kasim.
Who gave it to Fionla Alistair Duncern as a gift. I
Right.
didn't take you for a petty thief.
No thief. It just doesn't belong to you.
You seem to hold a notion of ownership in initiation only. Is that the case, my prince?
I suppose.
Does that mean that anybody in this city that was not from Hamburg is not actually under your command?
Oh, I see you are playing word games with me.
I'm simply asking so I can understand the parameters that you were operating under.
When I touch this necklace, I can see who held it, who it belonged to, how it was made, where it was made, how old it is. I am just informing you that it doesn't belong to you.
Can you follow the path of ownership that
Yep.
an object takes from start to finish?
From start to finish? No. I can
Then
follow
you
it
have
from
one
now
piece
to
of the
where it
story.
began.
Then you have one piece of the story, my prince.
He holds it out to whoever wants to take it. Good
Adelaide will take it.
good faith that you will do as you have said you will do. I will release your people.
Absolutely. And I
As
just
they
immediately
were.
gesture them.
Yep, as they were. Could you point us in the direction of this cemetery?
Literally.
An address would be most agreeable.
It is the Evangelische Friedhof Altona. It is at the end of the Reeperbahn.
We shall return for our people with your problem solved.
Give me that necklace.
Adelaide's going to start out with the necklace and wait until we're not in Midian's sight to give it to Edgar.
I will give you your vision when we return.
That will be very entertaining.
Yancey is going to just pop his head, snap masks back to white, and then bow and follow the group.
So as you leave, of course, you hear Aelin still continuing on non-stop saying these names. And of course, none of you but Edgar know what she's saying. And you can make your way out to the end of the Reeperbahn whenever you like. And you can walk and talk as you do this.
We're Adelaide is silent, head held high until we get out of earshot.
Edgar will
Well,
stop at the front door. I
As we
need,
leave, I'll turn to these three and just go, "Oh, good. We just have to handle ghosts and corpses. That's what you guys do, right?"
I would never implore you, Tullio. Would you mind if Kenneth stayed to keep an eye on things?
By all means.
And Edgar will just touch his forehead to Kenneth's, nod.
Kenneth asks to bum another cigarette.
Edgar will leave his whole fucking pack with him.
Mhm. Welcome to Germany, the smoker's paradise.
Has anyone taught him how to actually use his lungs yet?
He'll
He's been
figure it
working.
out.
So as you all walk to the end of the Reeperbahn, where the lights start getting dimmer and there's less adult entertainment, less people here, you're heading to an actual park. as what it looks like, or a Friedhof, as we call it here in Germany. It is a green area that is for burying the dead. And I'd like to ask everyone how they are feeling. Yancey, I think you're feeling pretty okay, right? With how that went.
Get the fuck out of here.
Sure. Adelaide, how are you feeling about the interaction with Midian? You feel like he's going to keep his word? You feel like, nah? How are you feeling about it?
I don't know if he's going to keep his word. And if he doesn't, I have a fetter on me that I'm going to break in his face. Because if he wants to have us deal with
we're not in Berlin, but sure.
No, it still haunts.
Sure. Tullio, how are you feeling? This prince, with very little effort on his part, seemed to take over your body.
So out of character, I know what the power was. I don't think Tullio wouldn't really know what the.
No, because I've tried to use this power 4 times in this Chronicle, and it's always failed. So I had to give it one more shot before we come to the end of the season. But no, I don't think you would have known what this is.
Gotcha. Then he's just seeing this as another being that has taken possession of his body, and he's frustrated, irritated, and is already plotting to try to murder.
This happens to Tullio a lot. Tullio's has lost control from an infernalist ritual, has gotten taken over by a specter, and now a Malkavian decided to ride their body for a quick second.
Tullio has literally had no successes.
That's not true. You rolled really high, but you were rolling against someone with a lot of dice.
Yeah, no, like personal, like actual successes. I mean.
That is not true.
Tullio fails every turn.
That is not true. You are the head of the Giovanni bloodline, and whether Ken is a piece of shit about it or not, you were the only person that I'm aware of besides Lucius who can bring someone back from the dead. Like,
yeah, but he's still the taxi cab of Germany.
Yeah, he is. And lastly, Edgar, how are you feeling?
Edgar now has firmly fixed in his mind that once all of this has been dealt with, he will spend however many hundreds of years it takes to slowly bring every single one of Midian's achievements to rust and ruin.
So completely normal reaction.
He will salt the earth, and every memory of that man that anyone has will be poor, and he will die a penniless pauper waiting for the sun.
Awesome. All right. So as you all...
Yeah, we're all pissed off.
Yeah, okay, got it. So as you all head to the end of the Reeperbahn, as I said, it's the Evangelische Friedhof Altona. Evangelisch meaning evangelical, but that does not mean the same thing it means in the States. I can't make that more clear. That's sort of the Protestant, where there's Catholic and Protestant here in Germany. It is a very fairly young cemetery. You see that it was established in 1877, which for Germany, that's like yesterday. And there is a big crematorium, which is fairly common on site of cemeteries, where they actually... because here in Germany, you can't bury a body whole. You have to cremate it first. It is an environmental thing that they do now. And so it is a crematorium, and it says... Selig sind die Toten, die in dem Herrn sterben. Offenbarung des Johannes 14:13, which means blessed are the dead who die in the Lord. Revelations 14:13, because Germans don't say revelation, they say the revelation of John. So that is the scene you see here. Everything seems pretty well kept. Seems there's cobblestone pathways, and the graves seem pretty clean here. It's not unlike where Adelaide lives in Charlottenburg. And as you wander through this graveyard, you're like, well, what is he talking about? I mean, we just sent on this crazy mission by a Malkavian who thinks that there's dead raising. And that's when you spot literally a dead person walking around. Just walking around.
Like a corpse is walking around?
Like a corpse is walking around.
Okay.
It doesn't look like anything that you have all seen in your years in the Hecata, raising bodies. It doesn't look anything like that. It looks more like something out of a monster movie. It looks wrong. As weird as that sounds.
Adelaide's like brow furrows.
Mm-hmm.
And then realizing that Yancey hasn't dealt with any of this.
Mm-hmm.
This is not normal.
Ah, okay. So how do we go about this?
With Sense the Unseen, does it have any sort of aura surrounding it, or?
No, but someone here has a specialty in death, and someone here has a specialty in grave rituals. So if they would like to roll me those wits with those specialties.
Yeah, I was gonna take it also with Oblivion Sight. How are the ghosts looking around this area?
You see some latent spiritual activity, but you don't see any ghosts here.
That's concerning.
Not really. If there's no haunts here, ghosts are in the Shadowlands. Are you rolling that wits and occult for me, Tullio? With your specialty in death?
Death?
In
In death?
Wits, occult, and grave rituals.
Mm-hmm.
I love just Edgar and Yancey just being like, yeah, dead shit.
Edgar's like, I hate
My
this. I hate that I keep... Yeah, I put you in a Hecata Chronicle. It is not my fault you didn't take any DOS in Oblivion. It's not my fault.
My specialty in death is in my awareness.
Oh, go for it. Oh, that's even better. That's even better. Even better.
You know what? I got 6 successes with the... But I have the I have 3 die that I could re-roll.
You don't need to. You're good.
Okay.
So with those 6 successes, you do notice that there is some strange amount of blood on this corpse. That it seems someone has poured a lot of their blood over this corpse. That's strange. How Shambling Hordes works, how you raise the dead is a sacrifice of an innocent, and then that is raised. Of course, there's blood used in the ritual, but this doesn't look right. He's still wearing all of his funeral clothes. He looks pretty intact. This is weird.
When you spread the vitae over them, it absorbs into them. This one is wrong.
What did you roll, Tullio?
Sorry, 3 successes.
3 successes. You can see the trail of blood from this zombie, wherever it came from, leading back farther into the cemetery. It doesn't seem to want to attack you either. It's just walking around.
Point it out to my coterie.
Let's get this done. Do we destroy this thing or not?
If you destroy the maker, usually they also are destroyed.
Then let's get to it.
We follow the trail.
Edgar starts walking.
Mm-hmm. So as you follow the trail, you come across another zombie just walking around. Again, that same amount of blood on them, and this one is walking into a tree here and just walking into it again and again and again. It's very strange, very wrong, and just even more disturbing than when you see people do Shambling Hordes.
They're stupid.
Not that there aren't.
Literally, exactly. It's just...
I once had a conversation about chickens, and this is reminiscent.
Not that the zombies are ever intelligent. Not that way. But this is... Usually they serve a purpose of some kind. Whether it's repeating a menial task over and over again, or being aggressive, protecting something, or defending against something. This isn't either of those things.
They didn't
So
give
this
it
is
a
emphasis on the
command.
shambling.
Mm-hmm. Emphasis on the shambling, yeah, exactly.
They just raise it and not give it a command. That's ridiculous. I'm offended.
So as you offendedly look at the zombie and keep walking, eventually come across a broken mausoleum where you see a lot of the blood pooling here where it has come from. And everyone, wits and awareness. Tullio, if you wanted to use your shadow perspective again, you can.
Adelaide would like to taste the blood
Sure.
to see if it's actually mortal or if it's vitae.
That's hard for you to determine without any blood sorcery.
Gotcha.
You don't have a taste for blood.
Or to see if it's like
You don't
the
have a
actual
reveal
mixture she makes.
temperament or anything of that nature, right?
I am not going to use shadow perspective. I can't afford the rouse checks at this point.
Okay.
8 messy critical.
Mm-hmm. You're going to fall under your clan compulsion, Edgar, until you see something die or come to life. You're going to be at a 2 dice penalty. And no, I'm not counting the shambling zombies. You already saw them.
No successes.
Does that remove Tullio's for seeing them?
Yeah. Actually, that would remove Tullio's for seeing them. That's correct.
Okay,
You
so
got
it was
0 successes, Tullio?
Correct.
Oh, honey. We got to give Tullio a win real quick.
you said wits and awareness?
He'll get
Yeah.
a win when he earns it.
No, stop.
I got 5, and it is messy, and I would like to not.
Fall under your clan compulsion? Because you're gonna.
I'm good. I'm good with clan compulsion. I just don't want to get hungry.
No, you're gonna fall under your clan compulsion as well.
Cool.
So all of you besides Tullio, who can't stop looking at this, it's like an elderly woman who's just, look, she died recently, she doesn't look that decomposed, and she's just walking into a tree over and over again, and it makes you feel kind of bad, maybe? You're not really sure what you're feeling here, what you're supposed to be feeling here. All of you can hear laughter, sound of a radio, talking, giggling, going on deeper into the mausoleum.
Edgar's gonna pull the gun out of his jacket and just walk in.
Can I send my shadow servant to
Rouse check.
scout ahead? Okay.
What would you like to do, Yancey?
Buddy. We're doing so good. We're so bad. We're doing so bad. So bad. Okay.
Hungry.
Nom.
I'll go invisible.
Mhm.
I'll go unseen.
Rouse check.
Yeah. I'll
We're
figure
gonna
out
have
what
to
I'm going to do once I see who we're talking to.
So
I'm good.
Yancey and Adelaide sends her shadow servant down into the mausoleum. Tullio, Edgar, you sort of go like, Tullio, stop looking at the zombie. Pay attention.
Jingle, jingle.
Jingle, jingle.
Jingle, jingle. We have to kill someone. It's your favorite word. Jingle, jingle.
So you two, servant and Yancey, head down, and you see a bunch of people, Kindred maybe, sitting down here. They're sort of dressed pretty regular, pretty modern, trendy-ish, and they're hanging out here. They're drinking, and they have a body in a sarcophagus. And they seem to then confirm that they're kindred. They bite down into this body, and they laugh, and then you watch them drink it down and drink down some formaldehyde and some other objects, and they go, okay, now go out, and they leave through this sort of back entrance that's cracked open in the mausoleum to head back out into the cemetery.
The body does that they just bit down?
No, I'll just tell you, the thin blood bites down into this person that you can't really see what they are, in a sarcophagus, leans like way down into it so their feet are practically sticking out, bites into them, and then drinks down some formaldehyde and some like charcoal and some other weird ingredients, and then heads out into the cemetery.
Okay. There are more people down here?
There's a total of 3.
Okay. I'm gonna look around, try to figure out what to do, and then realizing that there is one person heading outside where everybody else is, I'm gonna cause a distraction. So I'm gonna walk to the head of the sarcophagus, where I assume the other 3 are still sitting around, and I'm going to very abruptly appear in front of everybody as I go.
They all go, whoa! Holy shit, you seeing that, man? Oh my god, totally seeing that. Whoa, who the fuck are you?
I'm not going to talk. I'm literally just going to start doing magic tricks and card tricks to keep them as distracted as possible until I have to hit them.
Sure. They seem like they're drunk, or you rolled 4 for wits and awareness?
Yep.
You think whatever blood that they're drinking from the sarcophagus, and maybe if you peek over, this might be someone old. And it's making them a little tripped out.
Cool, that makes it easier if I have to hit them as far as I'm concerned.
Sure.
So I'm just going to keep distracting them so that if the guy outside yells, they may not hear immediately.
So
but I'm not saying a fucking word.
That's totally fine. They're very distracted because you can tell their pupils are dilated. They look real tripped out, and their mouths are covered in blood all over them. This is thin blood bullshit, right? Up top, Adelaide, you see all of this, and you can recall your servant who informs you of all of this, and you know that someone's coming out.
Is it reminiscent of what we saw in the Thin Blood Alley outside Brigade?
It is. They weren't doing this. They weren't drinking from a kindred and doing shit.
There's a kindred in a sarcophagus and 3, I think some of those duskborn things.
Then let's kill them and be done with it.
One of them's coming out.
And you see who comes out is a very short woman with very short blonde hair. And she's wibbly wobbling around, and you can tell her pupils are really dilated. She has blood dripping down her mouth. And she starts wandering over to one of the graves. If you'd like to stop her.
Yeah, Edgar's gonna walk right up to her.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck are you doing?
Fuck are you doing?
You're disrupting the peace of the prince of this city. What are you doing?
Fuck the prince.
I agree. Let's go have a talk with your other friends inside. And Edgar will flash the gun.
Oh man. This sucks. I wanted to make one too. Everybody else got to make one.
We'll talk about it inside. Come on.
Oh, now it's just sitting in me. I have to let it out.
Then throw up.
I'll hold it.
Or I can take it out of you.
Oh god, you guys are really fucking intense. What's up?
And Edgar will just put an arm around her shoulder. Inside.
So all of you descend down to the mausoleum, and you see, once again, Yancey putting on a show, to the delight of these very, very high thin bloods. They're like, whoa, yeah, this is great. I don't know which one of you did this or how we're making this happen, but this is awesome.
Listen up, children.
Yeah, finally, as soon as they all come down, I just stop and go, it took you so fucking long.
Dawdling. Listen.
I'm going over to check out the kindred in the sarcophagus.
You've all disrupted the peace of Prince Midian of Hamburg. Which means you have 2 options. Either you die here, or you leave town. Right now. Make your choice.
Where are we supposed to go where everyone is going to hate us anyway?
Berlin.
Word has it that there's a plane waiting on the tarmac to Berlin right now.
Oh, fuck, man. I love Berlin. Fuck yeah, let's go to Berlin.
Problem solved. Come on. Before we head out of here, though, how many of those fucking things are walking around?
Just 2.
Dispel them.
I don't know how. I don't even know how I did it. It's whatever she's got going on in her.
Just 2.
Mm-hmm. There's 3 of us, really so just 2.
Really long and hard of him. Just 2.
This has been happening for a while. How long have you been doing this?
Maybe like 4 days.
Enough to get Midian's attention. So
I've always wanted to pet his tiger.
That means 2 things. We will take you to Berlin, but you will owe the Hecata a favor.
What the fuck's a Hecata?
You're going to find out.
Okay.
Great. Get your things. We'll kill the fucking zombies on the way out.
Awesome. And they start packing up random bits of metal and shit. They start shoving into a bag, just looks like a bunch of trash, but it means something to them. And you can tell that they were actually living in here.
This is a stretch, but do they happen to have a pot of ink on them in their effects? Yeah. That's mine now.
Go for it. I'll just get another one of Papier Fischer.
Great.
I just look at these 3. Mm-hmm. I look at these 3 and go, did that seem too easy?
Yes.
We'll see what happens in Berlin. Who's in the sarcophagus?
It's a woman with light skin, dark hair, dark eyes.
Are her eyes open?
No.
Okay.
But she is a kindred in torpor.
I'd say that's a fair assumption.
Great, we'll take her with us.
Yeah, I'm very first gonna snap at the Thin Bloods and go, who is she? She one of you guys?
No. We were just trying to expand our living space, and we found her. We were digging.
Uh-huh.
They've already been biting her, right? So there's already. I'm gonna the smallest nom because I'm at 3 hunger.
Of the woman in the
Tap
sarcophagus.
Adelaide.
You're gonna nom on the woman in the sarcophagus, is that correct?
Yes, I'm so hungry.
Sure. Go for it.
Okay. So just like one of the open.
Are you gonna
wounds.
nom?
No,
suck on one
we're
of
not.
the open wounds.
I'm gonna suck on one of the open wounds. Just a little bit. And then get some of the blood so I can give it to Kasim later.
Sure.
Can I scour secrets on a dead body? Or on a torpid body?
Such as painting, music, or an old floppy disk, the power works. So it's at my discretion. Yeah, I'll allow it.
If there's any personal effects on her, you could try that too. Because based on what the Thin Bloods are doing...
You're pretty sure that the Thin Bloods, if anything was on her, they took it and packed it up in their bags.
Yeah. Because they're messing with the dead after eating on her, and that's concerning.
What could it mean? It's not a far jump what it means.
Yeah. Which means that Midian did have Hecata, and therefore the promise is intact in Hamburg. So...
6 successes.
6 successes. You spend a significant amount of time looking through her, the outfit that she's wearing. You think it's from the 15th century. She doesn't have a whole lot on her person, is what makes it hard to determine how you would figure it out. I would say in a slipped pocket of the dress that she's wearing, you find a letter with a seal, and the letter is addressed to someone named Penelope.
Edgar has too much respect to open it.
Mm-hmm.
But, you said the dress is 15th century?
The seal is the seal of Hamburg.
Got it. And you said her dress is like 15th century?
Mm-hmm. Like 1400s.
She's been in torpor for that long?
Mm-hmm.
She's either a white or will be one when we wake her up. I can have a truck come by for her. It's fine.
Well, here's my question. If she is one of you guys, do we want to take her out of the city and thus make what Midian said about no Hecata being in the city probably true? Or do you want to establish that there is in fact Hecata in the city and keep that over his head?
He would know this is the only place we came, and he would just find her and destroy her if we told him.
I mean, we could always just try to get her up.
That would break the promise, causing harm to her.
That too.
We can try and wake her, but it's not going to be good.
We could also just bring her up and show that she's here.
We'll bring her, and then we'll take her to Berlin. We're going to ruin Prince Midian, eventually. And the more the promise doesn't interfere, the better.
We will trade one of ours for one of...
We dealt with his problem.
Yes.
We'll have Kenneth take the Thin Bloods to the tarmac and wait for us. We'll tell him we've dealt with the problem. Show him that the promise is intact. And then he owes us for doing him a favor that we didn't have to do because he violated the promise.
Sounds good. Alright, come on. And I'm gonna put my hands under this corpse and pick it up, and I'm gonna activate Cloak the Gathering.
Yes, awesome. Rouse check.
Which also means we do need to take and get rid of the zombies.
Perfect.
Oh yeah. So, actually,
One moment.
right before she says that, I just stop and go, "All right." I do not get I don't get hungry, but I'm gonna hold that for when we're done
Absolutely.
with the zombies.
I'll allow it, yeah.
All right, fuck.
How do you get rid of the zombies? How do you get rid of the one walking against the tree? That one that Tullio is so fascinated with.
She seems like Tulio's type. And
Yep.
Edgar will just like nudge him.
I have a thing I can do. Take a little bit of time.
She's already an older woman. Just imagine it's Olivia. Do your thing.
Decapitation, and I'm taking the skull with me.
Perfect.
And then we put the bodies in the mausoleum if they don't decompose.
Takes no effort to decapitate her. She doesn't resist or react to it. And you can keep her head.
Oh, hands! I'm gonna take the other one's hands.
Mm-hmm. You can go and kill the other one, cut off his head, take his hands. That's because we're in a Hecata Chronicle. That's what we do here.
Oh, now I'm gonna pick her up
Mhm.
and vanish and just disappear with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Perfect. Can I walk to the Ripabon? Tullio, where are you putting that head?
You want to put it in my bag?
In the doctor's bag that
The
I'm
doctor's
carrying.
bag.
Oh,
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, you
So-
know where all the sterile scalpels and shit are.
Yep. So, the Thin Bloods walk with you to the Ripabon. You inform Kenneth, tell him to take him to the tarmac, and he says, fucking great, just get Moira out of there. That's what he says to you, Edgar. And he walks with them back to the tarmac. You walk back into... weren't gone that long. You walk back into Kiesha. No bells going off. Which is great.
Thank God.
And Midian is still sitting there with Maureen and Moira and Aelin. Aelin, again, still in a fetal position. Nothing's changed there. And when do you appear, Yancey?
I don't.
All right.
I'm holding a corpse.
Oh,
So I
well,
don't.
you're in Kiesha in the narthex. There's no one else in here but Midian and Kindred.
Oh, okay. I still don't.
We've dealt with your problem.
We have disposed of the walking dead. That's
Is
what
it a
made.
portent of the end times?
Yes.
I figured as much.
However, I'm not sure if it was intended, but there are Hecata in your city. At least one.
Penelope of Hamburg.
Immediately, his gaze turns to you. His head turns in a strange way. Where is she?
Why do you want to know?
Because she
Any
was
harm?
mine once.
Oh. She was your lover. You've tasted death's kiss and been found wanting more.
Where is she?
Closer than you think.
That was not the arrangement. We took care of your problem. Please release our people.
Did
And
you
then
say
we can
closer
continue.
than you think? Yancey, wits and obfuscate, please. It's an auspex roll. Yeah.
I'll burn a willpower. Why not?
Bye-bye, willpower. Bye-bye.
10 critical.
Beats a 7. He doesn't see her.
With that being said, you have violated the promise, and we've done you a favor that we did not need to do. release my mother, my wife, and her ghoul, and all of their personal effects into our custody.
He holds his hands up. Stands up from the couch. They are yours. I will send someone to investigate the cemetery to find Penelope. And he begins leaving.
I'm going to whisper in Tullio's ear. Say, ask him to do what?
To what end?
To bring her home.
And I'll whisper
If
in
she
Tullio's ear
refuses?
again. Oh, actually, go ahead, yeah.
I didn't hear what you said.
And if she refuses?
Then to kiss her goodbye.
If any harm befalls a member of the Hecata here in Hamburg, promise will be violated, and there will be war, Midian.
I have seen enough of war. I don't seek it out.
Can I insight check him on the kiss comment? Okay.
Go read the Dark Ages, High Middle Ages companion. About Midian and Penelope.
It's a good one.
How she was in love with a Bruja. He has unrequited love for her.
Well, that die fell to the floor. That's a 4.
Tullio. Tullio's the new Edgar, and I love that.
Steady taking L's, brother.
We out here crying in the club.
Is it 4?
Doesn't seem to be lying about anything. But it's really hard to tell.
It's weird.
I promised you a vision, Midian. Are you going to leave without it?
He's going to stare at you very long.
It's alright if you refuse the vision. I'll take no offense.
You have been given a great gift. So close now to your humanity. You should try and hold on to it. For darker times are coming. And you don't see where your real enemy is. And he will leave.
It's your wife, Edgar.
Maureen stands up, and she sees you wearing a mask, Yancey, and she comes over to you. Maureen has red hair and a black mask and milky white eyes, and she says,
Can she see through my obfuscate?
Yes, I did make
Okay.
a roll for her.
Right.
And she's, you're not of our clan, are you?
He's an Nosferatu, mother.
And she comes over and she hugs you. I'm so sorry, Edgar, you had to go through all this.
It's no trouble. Let's go home.
She looks down at Aelin. I don't know what to do about her.
What did he do?
He
We can
fed-
talk while we walk.
He fed her his blood.
I'll kill him for that.
We go.
And Edgar will scoop up Aelin and keep talking while they walk.
Mhm.
A tiger? Really? What a fucking prick.
So you're taking Penelope with you?
Yancey's having doubts about carrying this body with him, but he hasn't been given a reason to leave it.
Okay.
She's family. She comes with.
Sure.
He seems to just want to kiss her goodbye, but we're kindred. That means several things.
Sure. So you walk down the Reeperbahn. Poor Yancey walking invisibly with the torpid body of Kindred.
Not the first time.
Aelin is unrecognizing of anything that's going on around her. She's just repeating these phrases, these cities over and over again. And Maureen is attempting to introduce herself. Hello, I'm Maureen. I go by Maureen de Camden. You are?
It's very nice to meet you. Edgar said much about his mother.
And you are?
Adelaide.
Adelaide. And you are?
Dr. Tulio Giovanni.
Oh, yes. You do have the look of a Giovanni about you.
He is Lucius's son.
Well, I guess that makes you my nephew.
Pleasure to meet you.
He is your son. He is my brother. By word and by bond.
Oh, this gets very complicated in the family. I will be very happy to go back to Edinburgh.
I was hoping you might stay for a while.
In Berlin.
With me.
You hear the voice, of course, your father skin rides her on a permanent basis. And he says, Eddie, taking me so far from home. Oh, I'm going to miss it.
I think maybe it's best that your mother goes home, Edgar. Until we get things sorted. Maybe she can come visit when it's safe for your father.
She deserves to see Osric put to death as much as anyone.
Not at the risk of her own life.
What is she talking about?
And your father's.
The Shadow Bane is corrupting spirits in Berlin.
Wraiths are falling to their shadow.
I see.
Is your body enough to protect death?
I have no idea, and I'd rather not risk it.
I don't want to say goodbye to you again.
Well, I can't let Jerry go, not even temporarily. We're bonded together now. In perpetuity. But you can come visit. Or if you solve the issues in Berlin, perhaps I can. Perhaps Roger will let me take an ambassadorship to Berlin. If the Camarilla there is established.
Kasim is a good prince, and he would be honored to have you.
I would be honored to meet him. She pulls out of her bag and hands you a skull. If you ever want to talk to me, put your blood on this.
I don't want to say goodbye to you again.
It's not goodbye. It's just a temporary parting.
Tell me you at least don't actually believe any of that Mithraic bullshit.
She puts the skull in your hand, pats you on the face. Now don't go prying, son.
I love you, both of you.
I love you too. And she takes Moira's hand. We'll be safe. Don't worry.
Moira, could she come with us? Kenneth, I think, would benefit.
At least to the plane.
To the plane, but I really need her to protect me. Should I travel alone? I can't. Not really.
Kenneth should at least say goodbye then.
So you all head to the plane, still carrying Penelope. Hi, Dad. Still carrying Aelin. And you get to the plane, and Moira is shocked to see Kenneth, and Kenneth is shocked to see her in the sense where he looks ashamed of himself, that he is kindred, and she looks saddened for him. And they share some words. And an intimate moment there on the tarmac. The Thin Bloods have already gotten into your plane and seem to have already opened up your champagne and are already causing a ruckus.
That's fine. It's fine. Edgar will take Aelin all the way to the back of the plane and to the sleeping quarters.
Mm-hmm.
And attempt to extinguish Vitae.
Rouse check, and I think it's resolve in blood sorcery. I don't remember.
That'll take me to 3.
Mm-hmm. Of course, hear the voice of Cappadocius in your mind. It's the perfect time. Take her light.
Her light.
It's intelligence and blood sorcery. Excuse me.
Her light is within me and washes over and through me.
Did Tullio and Adelaide follow Edgar? Or Yancey as well?
Go ahead.
I did follow as soon as Kenneth is done talking to Moira. I just reappear and just drop Penelope in his arms and go, here, hold this, and follow Edgar.
Kenneth really likes you. Okay, so all of you are here watching this exchange happen, and you watch Edgar hold his hand out as an attempt to do something. How many successes did you roll?
9 with a regular crit.
Nothing happens. Anyone else like to try something?
Adelaide is waiting to see what happens, and when nothing happens, she's gonna go up to Aelin and try and at least soothe her.
With the discipline, or just in general?
Yeah. I'm just pulling.
Rose.
Yeah, Panachea.
Composure and aspects.
Yep. My composure. Aspects.
You watching this, everyone? You watched Edgar attempt something. You don't know what, because none of you have blood sorcery. Failed, whatever it was. It didn't change anything.
She doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't look hurt. Does she?
No.
And I'm also looking for that mark that he talked about, the moon.
He was talking about his own blood in her body.
2, 3, 4. Okay. It's 5.
Yeah. I know. Nothing happens.
Edgar.
I don't think our powers affect her. It's something that I've thought about for a while. My blood, when she was partaking, had no effect. Other than longevity.
You're thinking now, maybe not. Based on the information you got from your legal department about her differing birth certificates. Thinking that, maybe not.
What about feeding her some of your blood? Push out what is in there now.
I told her we were done with that.
What about biting her, Edgar?
Edgar will put the necklace around her neck.
What are
looking over her. We need to get Midian's blood out of her.
You can't see it, can you, Yancey?
No, see what?
I don't have a way to show you the light. She has a light.
Maureen comes onto the plane, watching all of this, concerned about Aelin, and she says, Midian also could not see any light. Neither could Violet.
I'm gonna try something at that point. I'm gonna put my hand on Aelin's shoulder and I'm going to cloak the gathering. So I'll make my rouse check.
Rouse check.
I lost my... There it is. I get hungrier, so I'm hungry too. But yeah, cloak the gathering.
And you watch Aelin disappear. With Yancey.
She's immune to our powers.
I'll pop back in. Yep. Well, I don't have an ability to heal. All my stuff is,
Tullio, I have a wealth of bagged blood in here. Do you have the equipment for a transfusion?
should. Not, it won't be pretty.
I have another alternative, but you may not be thrilled with it, Edgar.
The only other person I know is the witch.
No, that's not the alternative I'm talking about.
Please, Yancey, go ahead.
He fed her his blood. From what I understand, that stuff runs out after a while. That's why we keep feeding them. We keep feeding people blood to keep them under control, but after a while it runs out. She needs to be on the island anyway. I'm offering a place for her to stay safe and hidden while this runs its course.
The closer she is to that thing, the more she's compelled to find it and do what she needs to do.
Well, then that's a beneficial thing, isn't it?
For you, it is.
Weren't we just talking about purifying this fucking thing?
She's not ready, Yancey.
Who was at the Bahari mansion the other night? Tullio and Edgar. Both of you heard Hana, Lamia, mention that she knew what blood potency Matilda's blood was when she was in torpor and said that they had the same. That's why she couldn't wake her up. That would give you enough of indication that at least Hana, who is not a Hecata, she's an adopted Lamia, she is caitiff, has some blood sorcery. That is at least one person you know who's not Hecata, who has blood sorcery, who's not the witch.
We can take her to the Bahari Manor. Worst case scenario, Tullio, if you could get that blood transfusion running. Yancey, I appreciate it. I do. She's just not ready.
No, and all of you can see that her light's not white anymore.
And I understand that for you, she is a singer of light, but she is my wife. First and foremost.
I get that. I really do. And I think it's in everybody's interest to keep that going as long as we possibly can, which we can't do if the world dies.
We're working towards the same thing. I just need time.
My concern is if we get her near the Shadowbane and she's not awakened, then we have a singer who is going to die without purifying it.
We can't afford half measures.
Which would mean having a useless means to an end.
It's very difficult to have a conversation. You might have to leave this area of the plane because Aelin won't stop repeating these same things over and over again. And you're wondering perhaps maybe she might be parched, hasn't had anything to drink, because her voice is very scraggly at this point.
Let Tullio tell Adelaide to tell the pilot to take off. Tullio and I can see to Aelin. Thank you, Yancey. We wouldn't have been able to do this without you.
Don't mention it. I will say, though, if she's not ready and you're going to need more time, then you're going to have to go towards Tullio's plan a lot quicker to make sure that somebody else doesn't get that fucking Shadowbane.
Does Lucius know where it is? You mentioned him.
I don't know, and I don't want to find out.
Very much the same.
Do you want to be there when we deal with Lucius, Yancey?
I don't care.
I'm asking you.
I don't care.
I think I know where he's staying, is the reason I ask.
My personal interest in this is currently more than 6 feet underground, keeping that fucking thing safe. That's where I start and end with this thing. If you want to handle Lucius, I don't care if you want to torpor him, kill him, give him tickets to the Bahamas, whatever the fuck gets him away from here, you do what you have to do. My start and end is back there.
as my start and end is in this bed.
Great. Well, until those two dots can connect, option 3.
Understood.
You said Maureen?
Yeah, if they're going to take off, Maureen would give
I'm-
Edgar another hug goodbye.
Yeah.
And Kenneth would be like, so show me, the card tricks, show me how, like, how do you shuffle?
Alright, fine. Yancey's not a good teacher, so he just automatically is doing it.
You're going too fast, man. Just do it a little slower.
Well, yeah, you gotta do it fast.
I know you gotta do it fast, but I gotta do it slow to learn how to do it.
Get good, I heard.
I like her.
Yeah, she's alright.
Absolutely fascinated by the card tricks.
So, for the boys in the bag, you're doing a blood transfusion. Medicine, either intelligence in medicine or wits in medicine, whichever's higher for you. Edgar, is there anything that you're doing?
Getting her some water, trying to get her some actual food.
She's laying on her side in a fetal position. She has her hands over her ears, and she's not responsive. So this is the term I would use.
Then, I mean, if she can't take to food or water, then...
No, and if you get close to sort of examine her mouth is all foamy. She clearly hasn't eaten or drank anything since drinking his blood, which was last night. You're guessing when Maureen cut off the conversation with you was when that happened.
With this... never mind.
Does this... What?
It's a dumb question. I was going to ask if a specialty applies, but it definitely doesn't.
Is it death? Is it death related?
Surgery, but this isn't necessarily
I'll
surgery.
allow it. It's a transfusion. I'll
You're
allow
stabbing
it.
someone better, and that's what surgery is.
Yeah, Edgar will just try and help Tullio as however he can.
If you're being exposed to Aylin's blood, if you're going to poke her, rouse check for both of you.
You motherfucker.
I can't.
Success.
Okay, look, what? Someone was like, drink her blood, and I was like, do it. I want to show you all the things.
I failed the rouse check.
So you're at 300?
Yeah. Well, I'm at... Yes, at 300. Apologies.
Mm-hmm. So you hear the voice of Lucius in your mind. You're doing well, boy. You have her exactly where you want her. Take her blood. End this charade. Follow the Nosferatu to the Shadowbane. And we will have everything we ever wanted.
I think Tullio pauses for a second just because everything is lined up and this is real fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Four successes.
You resisted drinking her blood. I told you, or you're going to drink her blood.
Oh, yeah, I'm resisting drinking her blood. But,
I told you
this is for
that
the
I would
medicine.
let you take Aelin as a touchstone. So now I will let you take Aelin as a touchstone for resisting that. You may bump yourself back up to 18 humanity.
Wild.
Because this is the second time you've resisted drinking her blood. When she was laying in that bed and you were trying to help her when she was really dying. So, definitely going to give you a touchstone. 4 successes. It's going to take a while and it looks painful, but Aelin doesn't seem to be reacting to it at all. So is there anything you'd like to discuss while she continues this starting? I mean, some of you care about Aelin more than others, starting to get a little repetitious and annoying, and you know, you just keep hearing it over and over again. For those of you who don't speak the language, it's whatever, but all Edgar keeps hearing is Babylon, Nineveh, Rome, Athens, Anatolia, Constantinople, over and over and over and over and over.
Do you think, as a medical doctor, if I were to drink from her, it would help?
Would speed the process, but You would hurt her, Edgar. And I think we're above that.
Extinguishing the vitae in her veins would have hurt her as well. Everything I said to that fucking witch hurt her. I'm asking if this will help her.
Would speed the process. I understand where you're coming from. I understand your feelings, but
I have to try.
you just need patience, Edgar.
We're running out of time, Tullio. Yancey's right. You know it. I know it.
I am not equipped to give you advice on your relationship. I would just advise that you think very carefully about what you do next, brother.
Edgar will
Lucius is the problem.
take a stake out of his jacket, hand it to Tullio. If I can't stop, use this and just pull it out when we get to Berlin.
I will nod.
Edgar will peel a hand away from her ear. Just whisper in her ear. I'm so sorry it's come to this, my darling.
Tullio will press the stake to the back where he knows the heart will pierce the heart and prepare.
Edgar will attempt.
So you bite in.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you bite in, immediately Aelin starts screaming. As soon as her blood fills your mouth, which of course Yancey you hear, blood fills her mouth, you are going to go into a hunger frenzy that you cannot roll me a resist from. And you're going to begin draining her. It is the most impeccable, perfect, absolute blood you've ever tasted in your life. You absolutely cannot resist wanting to drain every last drop from her. And you watch Edgar become delicately bite into her, and of course she starts yelling, and then clamp down on her. You see all the muscles in him tensing. You think he might break her arm. He's drinking from her so severely.
I will stake him.
Mm-hmm. This is difficult because normally I call for a cult shot. I understand he gave that to you, but I understand that you're a medical professional, so you're not going to miss the heart, most unlikely, but I am going to ask for a roll for it. So I'm going to ask for a composure and medicine roll to make sure you can hit the heart. I need 5 successes.
Going to rouse the blood.
Mm-hmm. And Yancey and Adelaide, you of course hear Aelin screaming at the top of her lungs.
I think at that, like, I did a rouse check. The cards just sort of hover in the air before they fall as I blink to the back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Adelaide goes to like stand up, and then we smell the blood?
Yes.
We're
Everyone,
booking it.
everyone.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what did you roll, Tullio?
8 successes, messy critical.
Okay. So, Yancey, you blink, and you're there, and you see Tullio stick Edgar with a stake. And right before that moment happened, you're fast enough to get back there. You see that Edgar looked absolutely fucking feral drinking her blood.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Get out.
You did.
No!
Get out.
Tullio, what happened? I'm not getting out. What?
Like, going up to Aelin. because is Edgar still like clamped into her arm?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're prying Edgar's jaw out of her arm and clamping.
You might want to
down
ask the person
the
with
wound.
potence to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. So I'm literally just gonna reach over and just open.
Yeah, you have enough strength to do that. Yeah.
I'm gonna put him down, and then I'm going to turn so that nobody else can see me. Lift the mask up, and I'm going to lick that wound closed.
Mm-hmm. Her blood is nothing special to you, Yancey.
Marriage.
Adelaide and Tulio Rostrek. And Yancey. Just because it's blood.
Sure.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm clamping down on the wound until Tullio can get
I closed it.
He closed it. He left it closed.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
I failed. I'm at 4 hunger.
Mm-hmm. Of course, the voice gets much, much louder. You see? Is he my crown of shadows, or are you? Drink her blood. This is what you were made for.
You know,
Is he good?
he's fine. He's like this because you fucking pushed him.
I wasn't fucking back here.
You made him lose his patience. You made him do this. You're the one that brought the severity to light.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I should have kept the end of the world a fucking secret. You'd like for it to be a surprise?
Yancey, your help has been appreciated. Get out. And I will use compel.
Really? Intelligence and
I
resolve,
think-
Yancey, versus composure, and charisma, manipulation, and dominate. Sorry, Adelaide, you can assist here. You can distract whichever side you want to be on with this
I'm
conflict.
on Aylin's side because Tullio's decaying now.
Yeah, Tullio looks real bad, real hungry.
Edgar's staked.
So, as this interaction is going on, and you're the only one paying attention to Aelin, you see Aelin return to some sort of lucidity. She sits up and she looks really confused and disoriented, and she almost can't talk. Her voice is so dry and strained.
Is there water or anything? Because
sure.
Edgar had said, okay, so she's going to grab the water.
Mhm.
And once, we'll see how this is resolved.
Yeah.
But she's going to
So
tell
what
both of them
are
to
the
get
rolls here?
out.
Yeah, what are the rolls here?
That is a 3 with a bestial failure.
7 messy crit.
Okay, so here's how this is going to go down. Tullio, you're going to tell Yancey to get out, but you're going to be, unfortunately, really ineffectual with this with that bestial failure. And Yancey, you're not going to, your affable quality is gone. You're not going to take this very well. And I will let you decide how you show him that he doesn't get to talk to you this way. Please don't push him out of the plane.
Don't what?
Please don't push him out of the plane. Because
No,
then
no,
everyone's
no.
going to
Decisions
go.
were made.
No.
My actions must be had.
Let's see. I think what's gonna happen is I need Tullio to make a wits and awareness roll.
Oh no.
Copy.
So you
Question,
get
because the bestial, is there a hunger gain, or was that just...
I'm just going to let this just be like a real, like, it comes off like to Yancey, not even close.
Get out of my room!
Not even close to being intimidating.
What's
as
this
you-
masked man doing in my room?
So you bring Aelin some water. She drinks it down greedily, and she's very disheartened. What's happening?
We're taking you home, Aelin. You're on your way home. I just need you to drink some water and take care of yourself. Now, if you can stop acting like a petulant child.
3.
Oh, he's gonna stop. I got an 8 critical. So what happens, because he can't see it, is Yancey vanishes from sight, appears directly in front of him, and Yancey's mask gets a splattering of red as I just headbutt him straight in the nose. And I believe unable to defend against the attack. It's just an immediate hit.
I'm gonna give you 3 points.
Yeah,
Superficial, 3 points of superficial damage for that.
You just headbutt him straight in the face and just go, let me make something really clear. You're not my dad. You're not my clan. The one who's helping is you in this. I'm here to save the fucking world, even though I'd rather be doing anything else.
You're a man not easily forgotten, Yancey.
I'm aware. Are you good? Is he good?
Kenneth,
He will be fine.
Kenneth comes up behind you and gives you a large bag of blood. Okay, see, this is, if you want to know why I'm a little shit, I learned it by watching you, Dad. Here, drink this. You look awful.
Aylin needs her rest. If you guys want to continue this
Aylin
conversation...
has gotten onto the ground to Edgar with the stake in him, and she goes, get it out, get it out.
We can't get it out yet, Aylin.
Why?
Your blood has something going on with it right now.
I'm not bleeding. Get it out.
I need him to be out there when we get it out. Not near you. So, sit on the bed and we'll fix it. Right? We're going to fix it. Looking at Tullio.
Consider it fixed, and I'll grip the stake and just yank it out. She's not bleeding, correct?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You're 10 humanity.
Mm-hmm. Edgar's at 10 humanity. Torpor for him is a day. So, you pull the stake out. And Edgar, that was the best. It's part of you that thinks when the stake comes out, worth it.
Edgar will look around, feel that the plane's still in flight.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
And Aylin just throws herself on you.
Tullio's gonna remove himself from the room and just go smoke in the cabin.
Edgar's gonna catch Tullio by the hand before he leaves. And just look up. Thank you. I can't do any of this without you.
We may one day have to see. And I'm gonna step into the cabin.
And Edgar will just wrap both of his arms around Aylin. Mm-hmm. Why does everybody look so pressed? What's going on?
Adelaide,
as I always do.
Adelaide's gonna grab one of the cloths out of her bag and hold it out to Yancey.
Just wipe it off of the head. We're good. Welcome back, both of you. I'm gonna look to Adelaide, and then I'm gonna walk out into the cabin, sitting at the back of the cabin.
What happened, Addy? What's going on?
we need to get Tullio's attitude in check. We need to make sure that Aylin's okay.
Tullio's hungry. Let him eat. He'll be fine.
Right.
What's so wrong with his attitude? Tell me.
Don't worry about it, Edgar.
No, I'm not asking as Edgar. The head of the Dunsern bloodline wants to know what's so wrong with Tullio's attitude from the head of the Nagaraja bloodline. Please, have a conversation with me.
There's too much Lucius there still.
Kenneth snickers. It's just Giovanni in there. God, it's just like mom, like dad, like all of them. We can't help it.
This is his right.
Look, I got as much Giovanni running through my veins too. The fuck? That's why I'm an
Look what
asshole just
happened.
like he is.
I think that you could do better if you actually put some effort into it, Kenneth.
I think
Look at
I
how well
was
Bella's
doing
doing.
better, and now Bella is I can't even have this conversation. I'm gonna go hang out. Me and the assholes are gonna go hang out together. Me and the people who need an attitude adjustment are gonna go hang out together.
It's who he is. And when Ilse Asher is done being the interim head of this family, it will be Tullio Giovanni who rules this family next.
The family of Hecata. Look at what happened the last time there was Giovanni supremacy. Because Ilse will remind us. I like Tullio. I do. But I don't want to see history repeat itself in the same way. Again, and again, and again.
Does anyone? He will rise to the occasion, but it is his right to rule and make decisions.
As a Giovanni.
What do you want? I thought you hated this family and wanted out. Why the fuck are you still here?
I unfortunately like you, remember? We had this conversation. Not just you, but the coterie. And if I have a family falling apart, they're gonna cause more problems.
He is going to rule. Should he not act like a leader? And I'm not saying he was. I don't even know what happened and why you're saying he needs
Of course you know. You heard the whole thing. You weren't in torpor.
You were staked.
You were just staked.
Right.
You heard the whole thing happen.
Look. Leadership goes through trial and error. That was a poor decision. But you telling him that he needs to adjust his attitude in front of an outsider, Adelaide. Come on. Tell me, if I'm off base, tell me. But I don't think that's such a hard thing to ask.
That we keep things inside the family.
What are you driving at?
That's what's going on is affecting everyone. And so we need to be able to be diplomatic and also strike at the same time. And showing our weaknesses to outsiders, as we just did, is not good. Lucius might want a united Hecata in order to make it easier. To make us a sacrifice. I don't know. I don't know what he's playing at the end.
And do you think Tullio is still playing to Lucius's strings?
No. I think Tullio...
Well, you all but just said it.
No. I think Tullio was raised to think like Lucius and wants to be better and wants to be different. He just needs to stop pushing so hard to be someone that is the opposite of Lucius because Lucius is doing what he set out to do.
And so is Tullio.
While trying to work out several things.
We're all working something out.
And we're going to get together as the Hecata. And we're going to vote in a new head of family.
And it will be Tullio Giovanni.
And we need to make sure there's a family to actually rule over. And if he goes to those places that we can go as Kindred, are you going to have what's in you to do something about it? Because I would rather do it as a whole and actually work together to an end instead of infighting and backstabbing. But that's what we're known for. It's what we do. And I hate that.
It's what they did.
And if we're going to be different, we're going to be different. We have to make these steps towards actually doing that.
I agree. However, there is a literal scientific boundary to how far an apple can fall from a tree. We are what we are. I have changed greatly. But There is much of Olivia Duncern in me that will never be gone. There's much of Alexander Nagaraja in you. And I see it now more plainly than ever. We must afford each other grace, and we must support each other in things we don't understand. And inside of this vehicle, which is mine, if I am not capable of dictating an order or setting a boundary, then that job falls to Tullio. So asking you all to get out was not untoward.
I will make my leave then.
And she leaves. And goes and sits in the back and asks Yancey to show her how to do the card trick.
He's still not a good teacher.
Alexander didn't explain anything. Let's fucking go!
So as the plane all heads back to Berlin, is there anything else anyone would like to say to anyone?
How's this body doing, Penelope?
Fine. Looks the same as it did before.
Edgar's just holding Aelin.
Mm-hmm.
If she has something to say, he'll listen, but...
She would be very distraught still, for other reasons. If you've sensed the unseen, her light is golden, not white still. And she would just say, "Don't leave me again. Alone.
It wasn't my choice.
I don't care."
I need to know something. We are putting Osric to death tomorrow night.
Okay.
Do you want to be there?
To watch someone die? No. But I don't want to be alone.
I have to go to that. So where's the middle ground, darling?
Just don't leave me alone. I feel like in the one day gone with that blood in my system, I lived 100 lifetimes over and over and over again, and I just don't. I can't be alone with my thoughts.
Cities you were repeating.
I don't know what I was saying. I don't know.
Babylon, Nineveh, Constantinople, London.
Can we talk about it later? Edgar, please.
We can. We're going to have to go to the Peacock Island soon.
Mm-hmm.
I would like you to talk to that man up there with the mask and the cards.
You should heal your chest.
It's the plan. I think he would benefit greatly from getting to know you.
Aelin walks forward onto the plane, sits down. Hello.
Hi there.
My name is Aelin.
It's nice to meet you, Aelin. My name is Yancey.
I'm supposed to talk to you about Peacock Island.
Yeah. From what a very special person tells me, you might be the only person that can help fix things. As soon as you're ready to.
I am.
We've got something on our island that is causing a lot of problems for the city. A lot of problems for these folks here. But if one man gets his hands on it, it will cause problems for the entire city and possibly the entire world. From what this special person tells me, only a singer of light can resolve this issue.
Not just any. It's just me. It's just
Well,
me.
then I'm very grateful to have met you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they tell me that you're not ready yet. I'm not going to push you to do something that you're not ready to do. But I do hope that we can help you get ready faster.
Yes, I will. Yes. I will try and get ready faster.
Dylan, do you know why your light is different again? Do you feel different?
Yes, I feel very anxious, paranoid. And I saw many things while I was in that stupor. I don't want to tell Edgar right now. I don't want to talk about it with him right now, but I saw how many times he killed me. Over and over and over again. In different places, in different times.
Edgar or the prince?
I don't
You
know
don't have
how
to tell
I don't
me.
know how to explain it. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Me in different bodies in different times, killed by a vampire over and over and over and over again.
Killed by Edgar over and over.
Edgar in different bodies in different times. It's hard to I can't. I'm sorry. I can't explain it.
You don't have to. That's for you to contend with and for you to resolve. It's not something that we can do. But what I can guarantee is that that man back there very much wants you to live.
They all did. Is the thing. They all did. They all did. I will try and get ready to destroy the Shadowbane. Yes, I will do that.
Purify.
From what I understand, they would like for you to purify it, not destroy it.
Sing to it.
Yes.
Yes, I will.
We're trying to resolve this with as little death as possible.
I am worried if they are on the island with me. They will try and kill me. And I don't think it's their fault, necessarily. But I think they'll try.
If you need me to take you to the island away from them, I can. No offense, Adelaide.
No, I understand. You just have to be awakened. Were you awakened in your other lives?
Not always. Not always. I'm sorry, I think I need sleep.
Why don't you get some sleep?
To think.
You do. Here, and I'm going to give her one of my cards, and it has a phone number written on it. If you need to get to the island by yourself, you tell me, and I will make it happen.
Also, I don't want you to be alarmed, but the person who lives on the island is called Dragon. They're not, but this is their name they go by.
Yes. And she'll take the card.
They're lovely. They're lovely. You'll enjoy them.
Oh no. I won't. But that's alright as well. The dragon has killed me too.
The same dragon.
Yes, in Constantinople.
Well, I'm going to do what I can to prevent that too.
I am very sorry. I am not ready and not stronger and not prepared.
You are going to handle this at the pace that you are going to handle it. In the meantime, everybody else on this plane is going to do what they do best.
Did Edgar drink my blood, or did I imagine that?
No, he almost killed you, Aelin.
He thought he might, fuck if I know.
He was trying to get the blood out of me from the other one. I'm very sorry.
You have nothing to apologize for.
No, I do.
It isn't your fault.
I do, because 6 years ago, I wanted to go to the Peacock Island, and Edgar told me not to go, and I said I should go, and I didn't go because I love him.
Were you ready to go then?
I thought I was. Now I don't know.
It may be for the best.
And you got those 6 years. That's more than some get.
I've seen myself die so many times. I'm not really worried about me anymore. I'm worried about what will happen to him.
Well, if he's killed you this many times, that means he'll be back.
I think I'm going to go lay down in the front cabin. If Edgar wants to find me, that's where I'll be.
I'll let him know when he's done brooding.
She leaves. Is there anything else before we end our session?
Edgar was going to go find Aelin, but I did succeed on my rouse check to heal.
Mm-hmm.
And Edgar is just going to go up to the front.
Would you say you have heard this overheard this conversation or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he doesn't say anything. Just kind of silent acknowledgement. He'll put a hand on Tullio's shoulder as he moves by. He'll head up to the front of the plane and hold his hand out for Aelin to put her hand with the wedding ring on.
Mm-hmm. She does. She's up on the top sleeper bunk thing.
He will put a ward against K-Knights on it.
Yeah, we established you already had done that. We talked about that, yeah.
Yeah. So he'll make sure that ward is intact.
Mm-hmm.
He'll just say, now no kindred will be able to touch you but me.
She just gives an uneasy smile and nods.
It should make it a little more difficult for other blood sorcerers to use their sorcery against you.
Thank you.
I heard what you said.
I figured you did. I just didn't want to talk about it. Sometimes it's easier to talk to someone who doesn't know you.
I understand. It's going to be different this time. You've made me different this time. Those 6 years might have felt like it was just trying to hold on to something that I think we both felt like we were going to lose. But I can stay awake when the sun is out. I was awake until 10:30 this morning. You are changing me. And that wouldn't have happened 6 years ago.
I'm doing it to try and save my own soul, Edgar. And I'm not doing it on purpose.
But you are doing it. We are doing it together.
The first time you killed me. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Only heard about it in stories. I didn't even know if it was a real place.
Most archaeologists think it isn't.
I'm glad that you're doing better, Edgar. I hope it helps in the future.
It will. We are going to beat this curse laid on us. We are not who we have ever been before, and we will never be the same after this.
I just really want to go to sleep right now. Just until we land.
Yes. I'll just lean up and kiss her on the forehead.
As the plane flies through the airspace into Berlin, that is where we're going to end session 9. Make me squirm this evening. Thank you so much, everybody. Sorry I ran long again. Always doing it. Can't stop.